So just in the period of 2 days, No Nonsense Forex Guy has got 11,000 views, 23 thumbs down, 857 thumbs up. So if it's true that retail traders or the goobers or the public at large is losing money, I don't know. They must be killing it with this guy. And to this day, I have not seen this guy put a trade on. I haven't seen him call on an entry or an exit. He talks in this kind of intangible world of indicators that he supposedly has at his beck and call, that he's chested 100 indicators. This is almost like those dating sites where you can find your next bad relationship because they've dialed it in. I remember I was separated. I wasn't quite officially divorced, and I was on eHarmony. I admit I was on eHarmony. And I fill out the whole fucking form, and the last fucking question is like, by the way, are you divorced or are you separated? No, I didn't want to lie. Separated. Okay, come back to us when... Dude, I fucking filled out 85 pages of bullshit. I have one currency with 85 indicators. This is a quality A trade. So I was just watching Mark Douglas last night. And there's things that he says that I'm sure if he looked back on it, he'd say, not so much. So it's all contextual because the contradictions, this is how people in the media, the Democrats in the United States, are able to spin something by just cherry picking what they want to see. And this guy, I don't understand. 75,000 subscribers. And it's no nonsense. So it's kind of on my page of simpleton, of smoothness, of crudeness, of robust systems are crude. There's nothing pretty about a fucking tank. Well, maybe. Depends who you are. These things are not, right? So there's no detailed, cool little nooks and crannies. But I'm getting a kick out of No Nonsense Forex because every time I watch him, I learn something more. And I guess you got to read between the lines with these people. Like, what is their aim? To not risk anything? There's also the video that's competing right now. Very high view rate is the Forex Lifestyle guy, which I just get a kick out of. The guy that rented a house, a $6 million house, and he's doing this thing where he's got 3 laptops in front of him. So cute. But actually, I'm actually more on board with the Lifestyle Forex guy than I am with the No Nonsense Forex guy. I'm actually truly a fan of, I'm waiting for Jenna's next video. Or Jana. There's a lot of interesting stuff out here. You've got people trading Bitcoins. It is insane. But some of these trades are like, dude, that thing just moves so fucking hard. Get out. Or you've been stopped out very quickly. Yep, jury's in. Guilty. Jury's been out for 3 hours. Is that even legal? Jury's out for 3 hours. You're guilty. You fucked up. You overloaded your entry. Right? Because you're never going to make a bunch of money unless you find the Goldilocks ratio between, okay, I can handle $1,000 in the account. Hey, do the fucking, how about this? You have the, I call this the Yang Forex treatment. It's like a Molly. It's like a Lami. What you do here, and you got to be certified to do that. What we're going to do here is we're going to risk $1,000 a month. And you get to decide if you want to risk $1,000 in 5 minutes or $1,000 in 20 days. You just swing trade it, and yeah, it's boring, right? If you're just going to put in orders and say, oh yeah, well, if we go down there, I guess that's a good place to get in, okay. But if you're going to do Fibonacci, put up 10 fibs and just have an order on each one just in case you're wrong on your silly golden ratio is going to fit. No, there's nothing golden about it. Even gold's not gold. I mean, what, 24 karat? Okay. You know, who came up with these things? You ever look into it? So, you look into tonnage, and this is how you come up with penny weights, and you've got all these measurements, And if the market's even vibrating a little bit, so this guy does get in at the end of the day, so what he's doing is a daily setup okay, it's oversold. It's probably in some structured area also. It always is. But seriously, he's not scalping out of the gate on something. There's got to be a point at which you have a continuum between 10 standard lots and 1 standard lot. And if the market moves a little bit, how much does that cost you? And what is the probability of fill if it's a limit? What is the probability of stop out if it's a market? What is the probability of momentum picking up enough speed so when it goes through your stop order, it's going to go a sheer clean, right? It's going to just break off a branch because it's cantilevered out too far into the future. The market is walking into into a horizontal scene for charting. Now, I did do some charts where the data is coming out of the floor and going straight up. And so I printed these things out, and I was going to go and quiz somebody on what they thought that was. But if you turn it horizontally, all of a sudden it's a different story. If you look down it, if you take a piece of paper and look down at that's market profile, you're looking at all the popularity of price, looking into the right edge of the chart if you could turn your monitor sideways. So that was innovative to say, oh, there's a bulge here. Obviously, it's a very popular price. But it doesn't really tell you. Unfortunately, it does give you the hot spots, but it does not tell you what to do with them because it doesn't give you the narrative of how we got to that price. So, yeah, sure, looking into the market and market profile, you better have tickets on these things. If you really think that that number means anything, why would you just have a ticket there? So, this Mark Douglas guy is from the old school, so he was amazed at the platforms now. Because, yeah, you can just throw trade plans out there that are fucking ridiculous that last 8 hours, 12 hours, like an idiot. Just press a button. You're just trolling for price. You don't care. You got ratios that are 10 to 1, 4 to 1. Yeah, you're going to buy the edge of the market. It just made a new low on the yearly. Yeah, there's people getting in there for the scalp. But then what happens if it turns out to be a big trap on the fucking wicks on the monthly? You're like, holy shit. This thing's going to come. And then there's an aha moment where everybody's like, yeah, we're ranging for the next 2 years in this stupid fucking channel. It's like you married somebody and they turn out to be some psycho or normal, for God's sakes. You marry the psycho babes, a lot of fun. Then all of a sudden she's just completely normal. You're like, I got to go. You're just boring me. So that's another problem. And it's the same thing with these currency pairs. Oh my God, this thing's not doing anything. Just fuck it. So if you resent the market wasting your time because you're having to babysit it, right? Don't have kids. Or don't have more than one kid. So which kid do you love the most? Got a problem. Which currency would you rather trade? Of course, now, if you have the trade plan that has 100 pip things, you can trade more currency pairs with a 200 pip stop. Let's face it. But you're spending $20 a trade. So to me, I'm not going to go more than $10 a trade. Because I can hit a button and put in 10 of those in different staggered exits and entries, specifically handwritten one-clicks. That are just hard-coded fucking, it's going to be 80 fucking pips deep. Just that, it's just going to be that. So running really good ratios in that, and I have not tested that yet because that would take some kind of thinking in clusters, having every time you're getting in slightly differently, but there's a scalp built into that of some degree in case you're wrong about the whole thing, but you're also trading breakout into that. You're trading breakout into your limits. If the market's doing nothing, it's time to think about it could go up or down. If it's going up, well, you're going to say, can I jump on the 5-minute train and buy every 5 minutes it's down at the market? Yeah, you probably could. Now, what's the size of that trade and what's the probability to keep going up? It's a pretty good probability. Any breath it takes in a screaming market is going to be another place to fucking get out. And you're going to see a measured move that goes up 8 bars, 1 bar down, 8 bars up clean. You're just nearly an absolutely symmetrical. There's only one elbow. And you see that in Forex, and it's like mind-blowing because it's literally coming into another session. It's trapped beneath the floor in this kind of delayed auction that's going on 12 hours. You know, there's this big kind of illiquidity issues in coming into the next session. So somebody finds enough buyers and sellers, whatever have you, somebody stabilizes the price, or the whole mob of people, unbeknownst to them, is stabilizing because there's so many fucking people trading it. So, yeah, it's funny how people want to spin it. And I do appreciate the cloud traders, because if you could have a whole new like language you need to describe the market with the Tankaneshis and the Shichiwamas, I get it. That's like a real kind of, you know, you could have like you could light incense and trade, get out some prayer rugs, you know, make it an event. How about this? How about a prop house? Human trafficking prop house. So here we are with the baseline by the famous VP. This guy's consistently got his, and he's got this background chalkboard he's still running. Like, I'm hypnotized. I can't stop watching this guy now. Same yellow font, classic Roman times. What, 24, 32, 72 point?
So as promised, here is the baseline.
Oh, thank God, man. I don't know where I'd be without this guy.
And video. This is a continuation off of last week's video, and if anybody out there is finding this channel for the first time, turn back.
Turn back. Turn around the boat, buddy. Oh, it's so cute how he's like, what, did you go to level 1? You can't get across the bridge, man, unless you do level 1. Communications first, buddy.
Don't leave the channel, but just don't start your journey here.
Whatever you do, follow the yellow brick road.
I do make videos from time to time.
That's why it's yellow. I get it. I see what he's saying.
For people who are brand new to my channel, but this one is for the homies. This is for people who have been
for the girls around 22
with me since the start, who have consumed all the material, and this is just...
Consumed it. Yeah, well, you know, we had to take bite-sized pieces. It was so intense, you know.
the next step in the progression.
Oh, I can't eat all that right now. Could you save some of that? Can I get carry out?
If you were
a doggy bag?
Brand new and you were to start here, you'd be totally lost. So instead...
That's all for the California girls. Totally.
Do this, please. Go to the beginners video.
Okay. Hey, beginners. Any beginners here? Is your first rodeo? Okay. Come on, guys.
It's your very, very first time to this
beginners video. Thanks for humiliating me. You're welcome.
Channel. Even if you're not...
Slow down, Slick. Hey, Mr. Plunger. And he's getting very alliterated here. Slow down, Slick Dick.
Not a beginner in Forex trading.
I have this guy sit you down. I got a chalkboard now. Like Chris Hansen, a Forex instructional coach. Have a seat.
We do things a very different way.
Different, huh? You see them electrodes over there? See that pot of water?
I know it's a little bit of a buy-in for you to...
Oh, buy-in? Dude, I just addicted now. You're so ridiculous, I can't stop. Slow down, Slick.
You know, spend time and watch a video just to see how we do it, but I
this is how we do
think you're really going to like what you see. There's
Oh, yeah. Wow. Hey, wait till you get into our adult room.
No Forex channel like this on the internet. So check that out. And if you're familiar with some of the
material, it's better than a dating site.
You got to make sure you see the moving average crossovers video I did last week.
Crossovers. How about just crossover? Isn't MA crossover? No, crossovers is... It's like it's MACD.
Because all of these things, like I said before, go in a progression. And if you... This video
in a progression. Go up the ladder. We're going to get across the bridge, people.
It's going to totally lose you halfway through.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't seen both of those.
Now, instead of speeding him up, I want to drag him out. He's getting better with time.
Videos above. So you owe it to yourself, really.
I owe it to myself, really? Really? No.
But do that first.
Do that first, and get back on so you get your shit together, and don't be so slick, Mr. Slow Down.
We are not going anywhere. We will
slow down now. Just bring your IQ just down a touch here so I can talk to you.
Be right here waiting for you.
I'm waiting for it. Go drink the Kool-Aid. I'll be here. I'm we'll all wait for, we'll all tap our foot, make you feel more anxious and wait for you.
When you come back, I've linked both of those videos down in the description if you'd like to go there now.
If you insist.
For the rest of us in this video, here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about where the best place is to put your baseline in relation.
Okay, I'm thinking when I woke up this morning.
To the chart, in relation to the rest of your indicators, all that. And then we're going to talk about the rules for entering and exiting. We've already kind of done that, but it goes a little deeper in this video.
Ooh, go deeper.
And then we're going to talk about how you can reduce your losses even further by using a baseline.
Okay.
That's the whole purpose of having it, right?
Baseline, okay. I'm into it.
Well, you're actually going to see some bonus effects.
Bonus? Man, you didn't talk about this. This gets better.
For having one. You're actually going to add on more wins down the line as well. Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
But I mean it, traders. If you saw the title of last week's video and said to yourself, well, I don't want to watch that. That's a Dirty Dozen video. I already know he doesn't like moving average crossovers. That's a waste of my time. Well, you missed out on something pretty big.
I'm triggered, man. My son cries like that when I beat him.
The final piece of the algorithmic structure, I should
Bad trader.
say, that we use for our trading is right there. Number 2.
Slow down, buddy. ATR, baseline, confirmation. Second confirmation. Now there's where I really have a problem with this guy.
Baseline. And that's what this video is about.
Oh, just
and you missed the reveal. So that's what you get for skipping over videos.
Oof.
But today we are going to go deep, a lot deeper than we did before. You're going to kind of understand why this was the last piece I revealed. It would have been pretty confusing had I not done this in the order I did it.
So first we had to show you your ABCs, and then we had to take it to the, and now we're going to show you how you came out of a volcano.
And there are already people in the comments section of YouTube that get completely confused in my videos, which I can't really do anything about.
It's such a riddle. I can't take it. I mean, it's like I'm still wondering if this guy's not mentally ill on some level.
I pride myself on my ability to explain things as clearly as possible.
Well, it's just completely going over my head or under it because I don't know what this guy's talking about half the time.
And if afterwards
No price charts. It's all this like, here's my blackboard. Here's my...
people still don't get it, I mean, that totally sucks.
I don't get it. And then the exit indicator is one man's exit is another man's entrance.
I don't want it to be that way, but if it's
One man's wife, another man's girlfriend.
got to be that way, then it does. For the people who are still confused after this, there are 2 more videos that are going to talk about the baseline, so chances are your question might be answered in one of those videos. Or we also have a Discord forum here. If anybody would like to give me an
I
updated,
think they'd be kicking me out.
never expires link down in the comments section, I will pin it to the top. And because we haven't done that in a while, so you can go there if you
Can I
have
put my magnet on the fridge?
any questions. And there's a whole community of people that would be willing to help you.
Help. Oh
But
my
let's
God.
go ahead and move on.
I'm a wounded trader.
And, oh, I forgot. By the way, haters,
Hey, listen, buddy. You're talking about me. Well, I'm kind of falling in love all over again.
a lot of haters out there thought that I wasn't going to reveal the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, no. I was like, dude, like, this reminds me of that soap opera, like Gilligan's Island. You gonna get the fuck off the island or what?
Without charging you for parts of it. Where you at? Come forward. It's okay. We will grant you amnesty. But we will gladly add this
Go throw your hat on the fence. Go get your hat.
to the growing list of the things that my haters were wrong about. They have this crazy ability to be really bad at predicting things,
He's talking about us criticizers.
which is probably why they're bad traders in the first place. But for the rest of us, we got to go over some rules. When you use a baseline, there are some ironclad rules you need to follow. And I'm glad most of you have experience in testing and trading with this algorithm now, because this will be a lot easier as opposed to if you didn't. So let's...
God, I gotta start over at the beginning. This is like even Scientology. Like, if you fuck up, they're like, dude, you gotta start over. Yeah, I know, but...
move on to what they are. So as far as
Main rule.
entering and exiting a trade,
Pay attention. I gotta get the fucking electrodes out. Okay.
We went over this last week, but I'm going to reiterate it again.
Okay.
When price crosses over your baseline and then
Uh-huh.
closes beyond it, it can move over, but you got to wait for that thing to close. Remember the indicators basics video. Always wait for the candle to close and then see
I
what
don't
you...
want to wait. I want to trade the reversal. Doesn't this guy get it? What's wrong with me? Why do I think there's more money in the reversal?
you have. As soon as it does that, you officially have a trade entry. Now, that doesn't mean you enter a trade. That just means you have the entry signal. You still have to check on the rest of your algorithm to see if it also
wait a second.
allows you to go that way. This is no different than anything else.
Yeah, it is. If I'm in, I'm like, we're up on the trade. Let's take this off. Let's just get out. It's a scalp. No, we're in for like 300 pips. I could take 50 pips of punishment. How much punishment can you take per ticket?
The whole purpose of having a trading
$5, $10, $20 a ticket.
algorithm is to get the best entries possible, and you must consult with your entire thing to know if you actually have one of those. But one of the other things
Your
an
entire thing.
algorithm does is give you the best exits possible, and that is another place where this baseline comes in. Check it out. You are going to find out sooner than later that once you have a really good baseline, once it does cross over and close, it is probably going to keep going that way far more often than it is not.
Okay, now this depends how fast your moving average is, what time frame you're on, what currency pair you're trading, and what's the current insane velocity of that currency pair. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Any kind of price crossover system has to take into account the structure of the market. Come on, what do you think's causing the fucking crush? Are people not getting this? It's obviously a setup. The market's rigged in the sense that it dies out and there's no market. And then all of a sudden it goes nuts and people are like, what the fuck? And then they want to make sense of it. Oh, it's continuation. Okay. It's more a continuation in just a clean old breakout system. It's making new highs, it's making new lows. Okay, it's as simple as that. It's going up. Now, the thing is, how hard did it go up? 100 pips in 10 minutes? This guy never talks about it. Although he mentions the ATR, but I think he's using a 14. Why would you put a 14 ATR on top of your entry? If you're trying to precision trade the market, you're going to have to trade it as it exists in the time frame it exists. If you smooth it out even to one fucking average, you just lost the whole context. Or the core root of the market is loud, soft, or silent and yelling, or leaves rustling, I suppose. Asian session's going to be like kind of, slow pace and then drifty. Here comes the London Open. Is it going to dip in some window and then dip out? Is it going to reverse? Yeah, probably. At these supposed hot spots that everybody's afraid to put their orders in or something. Put just one ticket in there and then you'd see, oh yeah, that does work. Okay, got it. But so does a bunch of other stuff, right? The 4-hour goober bot does make money. It might get 2 or 3 trades a week out of all those bars. 6 times 5, 30 bars. We'll say just 30 bars. Within 30 bars, there's going to be, and if you have a hard set pip limit, you're not doing an ATR of like, oh, it's going up. The ATR is going up. Let's widen our stop. Okay, great. Maybe you widen your stop so you don't get stopped out. But my God, by the time the 14 period starts moving up, this stuff's happening frame by frame. There's no reason why you'd want to smooth out any of the data. Unless you want a soft ride visually. you don't want to see the noise because it's offensive. It doesn't give you a signal. This idea of a signal to get in or entry and exit rule is just one rule. You got to have a bunch of other rules running. It almost makes this guy sound like he's got like this holy grail he's built that just does this one thing. But honestly, anything that you're doing that you find comfortable to trade with a 15 pip stop because you can kind of do that and you know what that looks like. And when it's time to get in with a 15 pip stop because the market's only trading in a 9 pip range, and you're like, okay, one ticket, one ticket for that one thing. You can run 20 tickets. You could have a stop entry, a limit. You could have some outlandish outlier, black swan ticket sitting way the fuck up, way the fuck down. Who cares? It's like you'd have to show somebody where to put the orders if you're going to give somebody else that task, because it is kind of a task. It's a chore. Now, if you're sitting in front of there when the market opens in London, you know how to I got my tickets in there. Okay, stuff that gets hit and you see the reaction. This is another way to confirm it, is that the confirmation is the fact they filled your limit. And then what happens after that, if it does what you think it's going to do, but it does it quicker than you thought it was going to do it, you probably got to get out, because if it goes to a stop hunt for the bears, a stop hunt for the bulls, and it ends unchanged, it's actually trapped. Both of these breakout people have gotten trapped. So that's where you get, everybody got creamed if they were not trading the right direction on that. If they didn't range trade it, then they got trapped. So who's ever range trading is stealing from the breakout traders, So the limit guys, as the kind of this story goes, is that, when it does fall into the hands of illiquidity, people do step in and they do buy it, or their orders are triggered and the stop losses, it reaches saturation on the stop hunt, and it's actually not a stop, it's just people getting the fuck out. Stop hunt just means money management systems are kicking in because it's breaking into viciousness now. And anybody, when the news comes out, they might smash out, but the bulls and the bears might get annihilated on that. And then everybody's standing there going, what the fuck? Should we even get back in? Or should we wait for the market to slow down, pause, and wait for it to sort itself out and get some structures come in on the half hour? The 1 hour starts to show you a triangle. Okay, we're definitely getting the low volatility. We can run tighter stops. We could hedge out of that. Or we could opt out and say, I'm just going to buy new lows, or retest the new lows. Kind of gauge how much I'm going to have to put in there and what I expect that currency to be able to do. Like Australian dollar, I'm not too afraid about it because you can trade really high ticket cushion on that, because you can run for, twice as many tickets, but the market's barely moving, so it kind of evens itself out. But, that is kind of a range market, and it's also going to be some point, it is going to go into a trend. I think that's after we have like this, as this guy would say, a deep auction. So the deep part of the thing is when the market is completely, utterly done going in one direction, or it's utterly done going sideways. But in the context of, like, if the monthly charts all of a sudden got very quiet and it had been really crazy before that, well, there's hell to pay now. If it does break out, it's got way more pull in either direction, and the polarity, the up and down could be just as vicious. You couldn't really say on that, but it does look like everything's kind of consolidating currently. And then we did have the record low again on Australian dollar, and I just got filled on, stopped out of about 6,000, but I got filled on about $4,000 of margin. So we're back to 11,000 after being to 16,000 for a balance until I overloaded too many 4Ks across all those pairs. So I bought the pullback in the euro and the pullback in the New Zealand, pullback in the Australian. And the other currencies, it was just too much to trade. I don't think I traded even the pound. I got some fill on the Canadian dollar. So everything goes into an extreme. And the key is to kind of get the density of orders to be like whatever you have, make sure you have at least maybe half the tickets wouldn't fill unless something really went crazy. So you kind of have to you have to leave a buffer. You know, I mean, some of these things aren't even going to go off. It's kind of like setting all these things up for traps, maybe last all week. Some guy claimed that the guy was making fun of that Wayne was doing some. They just put the orders in on Sunday night. Okay, never saw any place the ticket, but yeah. So here, this guy, and I did kind of wonder. And it's kind of funny because he talks about the haters, and I think that he knew people hated him because this is so ridiculous, right? It's like this is like some psychological operation he's launched here to fuck with people's heads, don't you think?
But during those times when it doesn't, and it reverses, even if it's the very next candle, if it closes the opposite way, you immediately exit that trade.
Huh? Now this just blows my mind. Where did this rule come from? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Now, the good thing about this is once you do that, it's often going to get you out before a trailing stop will and before your exit indicator will even have a chance to move.
He's kidding, right? This guy has to be kidding at this point. I mean, what we call this down south, it's called getting whipsawed. Oh, you thought you get it, now you get it. We just
and you
dude, really? This is his fucking thing? Oh, if it pulls back one pullback, you're out.
Can really, over time, mitigate a lot of losses and
how tight are this guy's stops?
Minimize a lot of losses this way.
This way? All of a sudden he's Al Gore.
I have some really good examples on my charts we're going to go look at in a few minutes.
Oh, God, I hope so. I've been waiting for how many fucking of these I'm going to go through before these Blackboard messages before I get to the fucking...
But there's a reason why this is in green. It is also...
Man, let me stretch. I got... Okay.
So a great money management tool when used
for the love of Pete.
Right way. But while
a good money management tool getting whipsawed. Yeah, I know. Well, we're out of the trade, so let's shut the fuck up. Hey, we took our small losses. Hey, take small losses. They say take small losses.
Here on the slide.
You can't always trade with tight stops, dude.
I would like
Give that thing some room. Okay, she's a little bit of a train wreck. She's on heroin, but look at her. She's hot looking.
Reiterate another rule I briefly talked about.
If you just went gay, son. So you got to go gay. You got really bad girlfriend choices.
Last week. And that is, you're probably
you suggest.
So used to taking kind of a top-down approach to...
Top-down? Hey, wait, she likes to be on top, you said?
Where when you look at your charts, you
look under the sheets, and you're like, there's another guy under there with her.
Confirmation indicator and see...
Confirmation? Yeah, she's cheating, all right.
What it says. And then, only after it gives you a signal...
Only after she just found cheating in bed can you kick her out.
You look at the rest.
It's confirmation signal there, son.
From this point forward...
This guy's treating it like a relationship. Yeah, this is my argument against these kind of traders or these thinkers is that they're looking at it like, yeah, they got the... I know what I'm looking for. Here's my list. I got a prenuptial diff. You want to see? It's called double confirmation.
What you're going to have to do is...
Look at both, okay? She's hot, okay? She's broken. But you know what? She does have a good energy.
Look at both.
She's a high energy girl.
Baseline and your main confirmation indicator.
She's got a nice ass. That was my first confirmation indicator.
To see if either one of them is giving you a signal.
She's winking at me. I like my indicators to wink at me. Time to get in here.
It used to be just look at one.
They should have that. Now that would be a platform I'd pay for. EA that had some animation. Like just come hither fingers.
Now you have to look at both. Look at your confirmation indicator.
That bullfighter thing. If it's a bullish market, I want some little guy to march out and have a little red blankie.
And your baseline. Honestly,
Check your baseline, son. Look at where your feet are. Don't be swinging the club like that. You see your feet are all crooked.
this, after you start doing it after a while, it's going to
What's this guy talking about?
add on another, 1 second
Add on another girlfriend.
to your chart time. Times however many, pairs.
You must start with your confirmation. Indie? What is
you
an
go
indie?
with, but still.
Oh, indicator. Sorry. I call them indies. That's cute. He calls them indie.
It's pretty quick. This is not a big chore. But
I don't know. I'm tired already. Can I have a break?
this is cool. You're
Can I get some water?
you're not doubling your opportunity to enter a trade on a pair, but you are increasing that chance. So if you're bummed out, you're not getting the amount of
I'm totally bummed out.
trades that you would like. This indicator, this base.
Can we get to the charts? How come on, 7 minutes, 52 seconds? Of course, I did drag it out. Couldn't resist. Look at both. Okay, well, she's still young.
Baseline here can really help.
Help. I mean, look at her baseline. Come on.
So I know a lot of you have been looking for baselines
Dude, I'm dreaming about it.
already. Let's talk about where it should
What the fuck is a baseline? Dude, what? Am I missing something?
actually go on your chart. So I feel like it's kind of obvious, but I think we have to mention it, and I just want to mention it so it can make a lot of people's searches
Okay, wait for it. Is this guy kidding? Dude, just give it.
easier. You need to kind of match it up with the rest of your algorithm.
If you're a beginner, why should you go back to page
It can't be too far away from where the rest of your algorithm is giving you a signal.
1? She's giving me another.
All right, because everything needs to agree. If your baseline is way far away from everything else,
It turns out that the rest of her family members are in jail.
it's never
Or something like that. Don't get into the trade.
going to agree. You're never going to enter a trade. Or worst case
Worst case scenario, the whole family tree is corrupt
scenario, your baseline
and bred.
is going to make you enter a trade too late. But
Yeah, she's late, I think, on her period.
it can't agree all the time. So it's got to be close, but not too close. Because ultimately what you want this thing to do is filter out losses that your algorithm
Ultimately, this guy's got to be kidding. Come on. Is he thinking about what he's saying? Is this where we able to levitate objects and shit in Scientology?
is already giving you. Remember that. And you're going to have plenty
Ultimately, place which filter out losses. We wish. Oh, God.
of time to discover these locations, and then once you find
Everybody needs to agree. You'll line up 10 indicators, or even 2. Make sure they agree.
pretty close area, you're going to be able to fine-tune it a lot further simply by changing the settings. And fear not, we are about to go to the charts, and you are going to see examples of how this kind of plays out, and I think that's going to clear up a lot of confusion and make this whole thing easier.
So.
But before we do that, there's one more thing we need to talk
Not another screen of chalkboard. Where should it go? Where should it go?
about. And if you remember, for those of you who listen to the podcast, good on you. I did a podcast a while back.
What happened? He didn't talk about that. The one candle rule does not apply to baseline. Oh my God, no way. I've been trading the one candle rule all this time. Fuck. Damn it.
Talking about the one candle rule. It was episode 39 of the
Son of a
podcast. I'm going
bitch.
to link that one
And I studied that so well.
down in the description as well if you want more.
This guy's... I got to take another class now? Start back at the beginning. Episode 41. I used to have books like this in school that were like, see page 49. I'm like, why isn't it just here? Why do we have to go see it? This book has a lot of typos.
Information on that. But
And he won't even do podcasts. It's just, episode of Pod, he's just all like, okay, that's the indie. Have you been on the indie pod?
This one candle rule, just know, does not apply to your baseline.
Okay.
All right? It applies to everything else, not your baseline, though.
Okay, I got it twice. Write this down. Honey, write down the baseline thing. We don't blow up the account, you know.
A lot of you guys are right on top of this stuff.
Oh, boy. Now we're on top. I thought she was on top.
I know this question's coming, so I wanted to talk about it now. But if you have a situation where a candle crosses your baseline and closes beyond it.
No candle's going to cross my baseline. I'll tell you what. Get off my lawn while you're at it.
And the rest of your indicator.
God, this guy's amazing. I've learned so much. The no-nonsense Forex guy.
Have not caught up yet. You can give it ample time to catch up if they need to. So
you can wait for other indies to catch up if they need to. Oh, that's so cute. Come on, little duckies across the road. I heard these ducks will actually, as soon as they hatch, they're like, dude, let's go. Let's find a pond. And that's it. They make one run. So it's just like the little indies follow. And my slower indies kind of like the final confirmation. By then, yeah, half the trade's gone, but shit, got in confirmation. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to be trading out with crazy reversals and shit. What the fuck you think this is? This is no nonsense Forex. This ain't like total nonsense.
So if you are trading the pound dollar and
or sensical trading,
you get a signal to go long on your baseline, but nothing else in your algorithm is telling you to do that yet, make a note somewhere, either on
like a scratch on the bathroom wall. It's my phone number and my indicator problems. Okay. I noticed. Did anybody notice? Can you imagine in the bathroom stall somebody has like what do you think about the guppy last month? How about that fucking stop hunt?
On your whiteboard, on a piece of paper, somewhere, and monitor that for the next few days to see if your indicators
I put it on my mirror.
Do catch up. And there's one exception to this rule, but we will tackle that next week. I'm already throwing a lot of...
Hey, how about Forex dildos? Anybody think of that, like with symbols? Why did you say guppy on that thing?
Now, but just remember this piece right here.
She had there's a nice piece of ass there, buddy.
This whole idea is going to tie into the concept we are going to talk about next week.
Oh, no, another cliffhanger? Dude, 10 minutes and 31. 10:31. Really? Still no chart. Next week. Okay. I'm just taking all this in, man. We'll discuss further next week, okay?
And I will say this, too. Still go out.
Okay. Just let me take in what you said so far.
Out and search for really good baselines, but don't back...
There's one nice baseline you got there, son. Hey, can I look at the candle? I got a rule for them.
Test them just yet.
What kind of racist motherfucker? This guy's like, I got one candle, only one candle to a customer here.
Because I think you need to see next week's video first. But that's fine. That still leaves you with a lot of stuff.
You could be 1 year old. When you're 2 years old, you're out of the candle club.
You just don't have to go and put the actual back testing in.
Oh, thank God. I spent so much time doing that by hand with a crayon.
Just yet. I don't advise you do that. All right, but let's go to the charts and see some examples and paint this picture a little clearer.
Oh, God, no.
So here...
Holy shit. Hold on to your hat, people. Oof. Looks like a CCI or something. It's like some CCI bull bear power. I'm going to call it a CCI-ish or percent R. Bulls and bears. Yeah, looks like something like that. I think he showed this once before. I've seen people run this indicator. Yeah, a little divergence here, I suppose. Let me see if I can figure it out. So here's the bull power. Triple top. Losing it's got a vacuum here. I would just start running sell limits, honestly. I bet what he's going to say is that price is above here. It's time to buy on dips, and I guess it's okay. What do you do about this? How about this? Did you have buy limits sitting here, just sleeper cells? Gobble this shit up? Holy shit. I mean, according to his rule, you're below the moving average. You're trying to sell. Maybe you sold here. All your rules are proper. They just keep fucking you. So, I think at some point you got to realize this window here is a big deal. And then it leaves behind this big cavern. Now I think this is right buying stuff. Can't imagine if we ever got to hear what would happen. Holy shit. What is this? Daily charts. Oof. Look at this doji hell. Then trap. Rape. The old trap and rape. People got buy stops here on the daily. Average confirmation here. I'm all ducks are in a row. Get in right here. Hey, Jed, that was a great trade you was in. Remember that last month? I know, did the same trade here, and it's like, holy fuck, they just blew up my account, motherfuckers. I know the banks be running this cheesy template and trading against me. I can tell already. What are people thinking when they say stuff like that? You've just got, it's hysterical. How about just the good old, okay, this thing falls through the floor. And people are like, holy shit. Bounce. If you sold because it was really up, you made money without really even, you probably just got out too early, actually. If you bought every, and this didn't close, well, this closed down. Big down, engulf, doji, backfill, then doji. Here comes the low risk, and here's the triangulation. So that's I guess it's the flagpole. They say this is the flag or a pennant. I suppose you could have a whole thing, animal crackers, just lay them up here and just, it's my elephant trade. No, this is my camel hump trade. It's a camel. But yeah, this is kind of like breaks. It does seem to retest a doji though. So if you just drew lines in the doji, it's kind of like market profile because market profile is just highlighting the dead zones. And then, of course, the very lively zone is this whole thing here. So this in market profile, this just looked like a big bulge. But I think that the entry points have to be the doji. It's the lowest risk trade.
Here we are at the dollar yen.
It's the lowest risk trade and nobody's going to take it. Not nobody's going to take it, but they don't have to take it because their stop bots are going to be triggered, and it is a stop hunt. It goes on a stop hunt out of the doji. It starts to hunt this shit. Then it pauses, and now it's going to go stop hunting. And that's actually typically a big, brutal move is a stop hunt because it's hunting every goober's stop, right? On every time frame. So it all kind of starts on that 1 minute chart, spills into the 5, and it just progresses from there. And then you see it, really crushing into like crazy shit. So if you've ever traded at the edge of the market when you're near a 4-year low and you're looking at the tick chart, you'll notice it's just utterly spastic. It's untradeable with the market because it's too frantic. There's no place to fucking get in. Not even waiting for the jump rope to give you a fucking window. You just can't even get. So there is a rhythm to there's a flow to the market. So, yeah, there is definitely a obvious you don't need an indicator for it, right? So the idea that you have this filter at the bottom here, it's going to keep you from getting hurt. I don't think so. You either know how to drive a car, you don't. I know they have self-driving cars now, but yeah, well, okay, the EA of cars is the MT4 EAs. Do you really want a fucking EA to drive your favorite car? Or if you really like doing something the way you know it should be done, right? the way it should be done. That's what matters the most, right? So when you see stuff that's all dialed in here like this kind of super clean system, then I kind of get suspicious because I've done this for years looking at indicators. And I always think this is going to be a nice one. But RSI is the only clean one because it's just closing prices. Whereas this, he has the bull and bear bullshit on here. Over-optimizing the market with indicators, I think, is a big problem. If you're going to go down that rabbit hole and get trapped inside of a house of mirrors thinking, well, what's the best way to go? And then, should I trade the 1 minute chart? Like people say, if it works on the 1 hour chart, can I trade on the 1 minute? Well, technically, if there was no spread, but as soon as you get out, the setups on the 1 minute chart are going to cost you. You may as well trade that from a standpoint of giant plunge zones that look like big voids on the 1 minute chart. If you scrunch the chart just right and get the right color combination so you can see the nooks and crannies of where it's likely to go crushing into or come screaming out of after it's raped a certain dead zone. And then it's like, okay, well, that's how the market behaves. That's price action. There's no price action, then there's crazy fucking action. And then it's like, okay, what do you do about it? So even before it happens, you can do something about it because you can always have your pendings out there ready to capture any kind of crazy spikes, any unfair value that happens, any flash crashes, flash rallies. Pick up a few tickets like that. You know, don't get in so big on each ticket, and don't put the tickets so close together. That would just be the same as trading at the market when, you know, it's like, can you survive this trade? Do you have something you can make on the way to your target? Even if you scaled out only in 2 tickets. The first ticket, maybe you get out of 75% of the position, and the rest you just have a wider stop, and now you just cashed out, and you go, oh, I see that. Because then it's just a matter of repeating that and doing about 1,000 of those. It is very easy to do if you could just write a script that launches 2, buy at the market, buys 2 at the market, because you don't want to hit the button continuously. It honestly comes down to how much effort you think it is to press a button, because you could press a button and launch at 58K at the market, all have separate exits slightly, separate stops slightly. And boom, there you go. You probably don't have to trade for another 3 hours if you typically risk 5K every hour, right? So how many K are you, how many of actual currency are you controlling every hour? And how much do you expect to make every hour, I guess, right? 24 hours, would you make 240 pips if a market moved 240 pips in a day? It could. So you made, whatever that number is, you're going to make $100 a day. Probably easily, with a $400 account, you should be able to make $100 a week, right? I mean, otherwise, why would you trade? Like, presupposing you got like 400 or better leverage, or even 200 leverage. But you're not risking, even if you have to have $1,000 in the account, it's how much are you risking dollar-wise, right? So yeah, you're kind of parking your money. And this is why this is what I would say, do I trust the broker? Because if I only have a little bit of money in there and I'm making a lot more than a little bit in, what do I give a fuck if they blow up, if they go out of business? As long as I'm always taking money out. But if I have a bunch of money parked there, yeah, I get it, right? You don't want to have some fucking brokerage firm that leaves town because you have $1 million in there because the leverage is like 1-to-1, right? You're actually in $1 million position. I don't know. I talked to a trader once that he was trading at like fucking 20% leverage. This is before all that other shit. And I was like, wow, really? Okay. That's crazy. But he had a bunch of money, and it wasn't doing too bad, actually. He had like a rule system, this candle rule stuff, and, that's great. I'm just saying it's not for me. So when I watch this, I guess my bias is that I played the indicator holy grail game, and I've stared at charts for hours. I've run tests for hours on EAs, and I've seen it. I mean, I know the downfall is that what's the trade right now on this chart in this moment? Well, in this moment, for not when I started trading, but now I look at it, I see, I see all the zones I would already have a trade plan built into. And then the rest of it, I'd say, okay, well, let's just buy a little bit right now at the market, see what happens. Put a buy line below, let's see what happens, Not going to get overly concerned, but certainly on the this daily chart, for God's sakes, I'd probably be buying a little bit. And then I would probably place some buy limits, 5 pips apart for like an hour. If this was Asia session, if it was going to be before London opens, I'm going to put the orders 50 pips apart, and they last all day. Launch them, or 12 hours. Just have a 12-hour trade plan. Obviously, you can get to your platform every 12 hours, hopefully, and then you just launch that, or just better hand place them every 12 hours. But it is easier to just hit a button, honestly. Predetermined trade plan, buying 50 pips deep for 4 hours. Okay, let's go. And just how wide is that stop? Because even if they fill me and I'm like, wow, I'll go, that looks crazy on the chart. Like that's what my first thought is, let's go to the weekly and take a look at that trade plan on the weekly. And you think immediately, wow, those are too fucking close to the market. It's ridiculous. If you go to the hourly chart from the weekly, you'll think, we're never going to get fucking filled. So time frame does matter. Here, this almost looks like a 4-hour chart to me, but he's on a daily chart. And here's his example. And this guy has got to be kidding, right? I don't know if he's trying to get people to join his prop house, but you know what I mean? People almost email him on the side and go, dude, this is so cool what you done here. But, I'm just critical. That's sorry. I just can't resist. It's just too silly what he's doing. I'm triggered.
Daily chart. And just like always, to keep it easy, I'm not introducing anything new. We are pretty much seeing the same old cast of characters that we have seen in the past. For my confirmation indicator in this example, we are using the Arun up and down. A quick review. So when the blue line crosses above the red, that's a long. And when the red line crosses above the blue, that indicates a short. It's all about which of the lines is higher than the other. And then all I did...
Just a second. Let me get the rules of that. I wasn't paying attention. Wait.
And when the red line crosses above the blue, that indicates a short.
Wow, that's weird. The red goes above the blue. So here's we go below. Here's where you go long then. I missed a lot of good trades. Here's the other way, right? Go long. I see. So it's like a ATR's built into it? I don't know. Is it worth worrying about? Probably not.
It's all about which of the lines is higher than the other. And then all I did here is just put on 20 SMA. And when
not an exponential, huh?
I did that, they actually turned out to be fairly close, but not really. So this is a good example, I think. So,
oh my God, this is a good example. What I've done here is I cherry-picked a very good example I'd like to show you if you don't mind a minute. Here's my argument from a completely isolated, non-contextual kind of argument.
So when I go backwards and test these out, I am going to look for signals that I get here and here.
Oh my God. Why on heaven's earth would you use this as a filter? You'd be better off. I'm just only here to help. If you just bought pullbacks to the simple moving average or put on a trade every time there was a doji, because it's just going in an uptrend there, goober. Until here, fatalistically. But you could have just got in here and just said that standard deviation. A standard deviation entry just says, I'm going to put on a trade right here as we come back to the center. I'm sure there was a beautiful envelope. My first envelope trading was based on just a pure envelope like this. And then here came the Bollinger Bands. which be all scrunched up in here because they took into account the volatility. But then what's the rule set for that? Well, my rule would be, if I had a Bollinger Band bot, it would say, as the lines get closer together, just start getting it fucking heavy with tight. Just stack up tickets because it's either going up or down. And even here, a non-directional system is going to make a house. It's just going to clean house here. It ain't coming in here. There's no way a stop bot's going. My stop bot would never even acknowledge this shit. There's my filter. It ain't going to see those tickets. It only sees these candles. And it gets a little scalp off. Then it gets a fucking decent trade. Then it gets whipsawed. Every system gets whipsawed if the pip amount doesn't match the... It's like suspension on a car. You can't go off-roading your luxury car. It's looking for like baby bumps. It ain't looking for fucking rugged terrain. So you can't have... Like rugged terrain is limits sitting here going, oh yeah, we're waiting for this day. Fucking idiots. Look at them. These fucking idiots selling into that. Now, this is what people do think about trading, though. I think they actually think, well, there's some retail guys selling this. Let's go kill them. That's right. Let's go kill them. They're stop hunting. They're getting them retail guys. Look again. They fucking tricked them. And it comes back to here, and it doesn't sell. No sellers come in here. Actually, they kind of do for this little candle wick. But then they just rip their fucking head off. All the way. Then we come back to fair value, the center, without regard to that moving average. So the moving average is a sloppy fair value. If you're near the moving average, whether you're going bullish or bearish, you are back to center standard deviation. Or, from unstandard deviation to standard. From it going unfair, how far is it going to go away from the river? Now, if you're going to trade moving averages like this, yes, you could trade it because you have a rule. There's a one candle rule for me is it's really up hard in one fucking candle, you fucking sell. Especially if the moving average is going down. This trade plan works. Here's another one. Doji. Moving average is down, sell. You must know there's a fucking issue here. This is a daily chart. Are you fucking kidding me? But he ain't getting no crossover here to get his extra signal, see? What the fuck is going on with this guy? This guy needs fucking help, dude. Is he just here like a serial killer would go around and kill people? Is he just trying to wipe out our frontal lobes with his stupidity? All this utter stupidity, this motherfucker is just, he finally got the charts all right, and now I'm even more confused.
So... really, it just comes down to which one did I get first, and then we'll cross-reference it with the other one.
Cross-reference, and what we could do is take you and Sonny, get you some breast implants, and you're going to look real good when we get done with you.
So all the way in the corner, we got a short here. And if you go down, where my crosshair is down...
Look at this guy. He's in before me. Touche. Oh, you got a crossover here. Okay. But then they kind of stopped him out a little bit if he didn't get out. He got in a confirmation because it closed down. Yeah, I was buying that, buddy, for a little bouncy bounce. So somebody who's on the other side of that trade making just as much money as he made in the end, right? So maybe we're all getting in at different times. We're all cashing out at different times. But we understand what's going on here from a wave theory, a zigzag theory, a straight horizontal view, which is pure structure. I don't think there's any time involved in structures. I mean, those are momentum. Anytime your trend line is not horizontal, you're talking about a momentum projection or a momentum gauge of previous momentum breadth of market, however this market can move, and how vicious and then how quiet they can get. So having trade plans for quiet markets is different than trade plans for loud markets. And maybe you just want to trade swing trades and just be like, yeah, okay. And you could do that, right? So you could do that, and it would be totally like, oh, you're making money. So you finally found what you wanted to do is make money trading. And but maybe you like the thrill of scalping because you find it challenging and it's kind of your sniper. And you know what? You can do that too. It's just that those two worlds are so different as far as I think some people would think scalping's gambling or it's just a little too pressurized. Whereas swing trading is like, well, that's just what you do. It's fun. You can fundamentally trade with a 300 pip stop and look like a fucking genius. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Dude, Brexit's bullshit. We bought that wick down there, see? Now, some guy can say, I'm buying that wick down there because, dude, I was just thinking, there's nobody on the planet. I'm just going to say straight out, I'm almost guaranteed nobody on the planet had streamed orders 500 pips apart before the depegging of Swiss franc, and they're sitting there going, twiddling their thumbs, going, I told you so, see? See? Who would put a fucking... The broker wouldn't have denied it if you spammed them, right? You put them... Can you imagine? Some broker kicks you out just before... They go, you got to get rid of them limits. You got them way down deep there. Just fucking doing nothing. Just filling up shit on our platform. Banks don't want to see... I actually had a broker say the banks don't want to see your tight stops. Huh? That they had a... This called Forex Metal. Or Metal Forex out of Panama. And they were saying stuff like, well, you know, you cannot get in with a stop tighter than 15 because the banks don't want to see that. No, Hot Forex told me that. Yeah, they're looking at my ticket. Hey, let's fucking get in our way of order flow here. So, I don't know about that. It's so fucking hysterical. No nonsense Forex baseline. I still don't know what the baseline is. I'm perplexed beyond perplexion. This guy is just such a brain teaser, but I'm addicted now. It's got Stockholm Syndrome.
The Arun, we can see that the blue
I can see.
line was still above the red.
Whew.
So that did not give
Katie, we got to load the wagon right here.
me a short signal. I would not have gone short there. But 2 candles later, look, it actually did. So I would have just entered right there. That would have been a loss, and I would have likely exited right here at this candle, if not sooner, depending on what my exit indicator did. So not very good. But the nice thing is I also have...
Did he buy there? I don't know if he bought or sold. I guess it doesn't matter. I don't understand.
An entry right there. That trade would have never happened.
Long or short? Doesn't he say... Can't you say buy and sell? Why isn't he allowed to say buy and sell? I don't get it. Is there some law?
Because my confirmation indicator never gave me the signal.
She's got to go to a party tonight. We can't stay home and watch a movie and bang on the floor and get a carpet burn.
To go long.
Oh, this guy's such a buzzkill. I'm just dying. He's killing me.
That red stayed above the blue the entire time.
Oh, thank God.
And then on the next signal I got, which was here.
She's back home again. At the same fucking price you were before, Goober. Now, why didn't he sell it when it was up here in the trap? What is wrong with this guy? Guys. What hit this guy's brain? He's got brain damage, dude. Okay. The 1 candle rule. Doji, put a fucking trade on, dude. Load up. Something's going to give. See a mini vac like this? You're always scalping that anyways. Just like you bought this. You buy the wicks. Put your orders below, limits below that down day. Pick up all this shit. Then you got a nice doji. It's probably Sunday. Blam. Running sell stops on the daily. Like a true goober. Really tight and big ones. Here, not so much, right? And what's going to happen when we breach this area? Holy shit. Then you could get on this trend train. Every time it goes down and it flags out, there's a triangle living inside this, or a flag, or whatever. Put a bracketed order. Buy stops, sell stops. Sell stops if you're bearish. Got moving average confirming. Fuck this shit down here. Big up day. I always sell big up days. I always buy big down days. But when you bought this big down day, yeah, you're getting stopped out. But if you didn't think this mattered, and you got to look way back to see this hole mean something. Yeah. You stand in front of that, okay. But guess what? Are your limits lasting, and this is each day, are they lasting for 12 hours? How many did you get filled on? Really looking for this wick? The spread was probably 80 pips at this point. Are you even trading this pair? Dollar yen. Well, you can make it all back here. Here's a sell. Doji entry. Doji. So you can see all the easy trades. I mean, obviously, the obvious trades, but the problem is the volatility here. Your trade plan may not be able to handle this. Even this is harsh. Bam, hesitation, breakout, pull back to the breakout point, confirmation, plunge, or just the confirmation that that's really, nobody's buying that to auction it. So this hot spot becomes a big pivot, and everybody that's scalped to the floor is now anticipating a crush on these dickheads. These people with just the money management pots are stacking shit up in here. And it gets gobbled up and they pull it back up. Sell stop starts stacking up. Okay, a little bit of protection. Good thing you got out here. And you're trapped below this floor. Here we go this way. Auction in this window. Very shallow window. Then crush back to fair value in the mainstream, even to the moving average. And here is the big stampede. Too much sideways. Just too much consolidation. Something's got to give. Gush up so hard. Drift into dojis forever. One last pop through the rooftop. They pull it back to fair value. Yeah, they're drifting up a little bit now. Sellers are going to come in there. Buyers are already sitting here waiting to buy. Willing buyers. It's so silly. It's so simple. Why would you even need to look at anything else than just the candles alone? What could happen? See a doji. Okay. Market's indecisive. It's a bar-by-bar indication of reality. Why would you smooth it out and put hocus pocus, these hokey indicators on here? I don't know. I guess this is just what people have they just dumbing down. How to dumb down a trader.
Entire time.
This guy's contributing to the dummingness of people.
And then on the next
Yeah, it's good thing he's
signal I got
next,
which was here. I look down. The red is above the blue. I take that trade.
Whoa, Jesus Christ. He's right. Look at that.
And there it is.
Now, it's also presupposing that he wrote it all the way to fucking... No, let's be honest, people. Even if you did get in there, you're going to tell me that when it got to here in one day and you just made $4,800 that you're not getting out maybe? How much? When it got to here and when it came ripping back here, you maybe thought, oh, fuck. I think they're coming in here. Get the fuck out. Or... imagine this. You had a trailing stop every day. Like a diligent trader. Trailing shell stop. My protection's right there. Very tight. Then they stop you out. Then it crushes down. And you're not even going to add to the position here because I ain't going to add to it. So another thing is, would you add to it? Oh my God. I'm happy I made this much money. I ain't going to tempt fight. I ain't going to go sail here and hold that and just run a trailing stop. I ain't that kind of guy. It really depends who you are. Can you be all five people? Can you be a guy that's running this money management system? Can you be a guy that's trading a severe breakout? You've been waiting for a long time on that Turkish lira against the whatever, the Polish something. And so, I mean, I don't know, right? The ruble versus the Turkish lira. But some of this stuff, I don't know. And look, before this big crush down, really? Man, I don't know. Overfiltered. Just overfiltered, which means you're really under trading it. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Keeping my losses fairly low. Making this other loss non-existent.
Fairly low. Non-existent.
And then making sure I'm in when the shit gets good.
Oh, when the shit gets good. Hey, boy, now you're talking my language. I like when people swear a little bit. I feel very at home. If you could cuss up a little bit of a storm for me, I appreciate that. Let your hair down. Don't be shy. Get that shit trade going. I love that. Look at that motherfucker go down. He's so right. Look at that.
All right. So moving forward, let's see what else we
Moving forward. That's what Ryan Brown says.
have. More good stuff, I hope.
And now for the good stuff.
So the next
I like my bar by bar system, honestly. It's just so clean and neat.
trade I get is actually down on the confirmation indicator. Oh, no, it's not.
Oh, gotcha. Ching. See, that's another problem. Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing down there in that indicator? And they rigged that indicator. Brokerage firm owns that indicator. You know, look at the trademark on it. Next time you can't open it up and look at it. Can't see the source code. Something's going on fishy here.
I'm wrong. It was actually right there with that long. Now, looking down, I didn't quite get the
Don't look down, they say. They're not kidding.
signal yet. I got the signal on the very next candle.
The signal. Oh, next candle. Well.
And that just turned out to be a loss.
Oh, it must have been a buy signal. Is that what it was? Buy signal there?
Not very much above.
Oof.
Came back down below. And
I like my indicator better. It's called selling new highs that are kind of oldish. They go back 3 days. Yeah, how'd it work out here? Got stopped out. Made it back here because I traded real wide stops. Here I made it. Here I made a good bit of money here. Here I cleaned up. I bought new lows on the dailies. Oh my God. And I could perceive this haul. I was like, dude, if they ever come up here, they do. They sneak in the window. They go, see you, bye. Here come them algorithms buying the 20 EM, the 20 SMA. Oh my God, man. People step away from the fucking indicators. My God. Don't torture yourself anymore with this guy.
I exited. Now, this also became a signal. And it's a short
End up like me, just obsessed with this fuck nut.
signal. I look down.
Look down.
The red is not above the blue.
Oh, wait a minute. You changed the rules on me. You said when it crossovers when I get in. Now it just has to be above? What are the criteria? Where's that baseline? What happened to the baseline?
So my confirmation indicator says, do not trade. And that was good.
That was good. She had like she's previous heroin act, like I told you. Look at her arms.
Because the very next candle went the other way. So that loss never happened thanks to having an algorithm and
Thanks to having a background check on my last girlfriend. See what? Look at this. She's in jail before, son.
making sure
I know she can dance.
that everything agrees with each other.
Everything agrees. Well, her parents agree. They think I should marry her.
Do you guys see what I mean?
We're going to make little rugrat indicators. We're going indies.
That was a short signal, but the rune up and down did not agree at any point in time.
At any point in time, Your Honor, not at one point in time did I ever think she knew what the fuck she was talking about. But she looked so good.
And the trade immediately shot the other way.
Ooh. Ouch.
Now, when it did, what did it do? It gave me a long signal. That was
I feel like I'm getting whipsawed in this relationship. I don't know if I like it anymore. We can always go along as the blue's above the red. I see what you mean. I get it now. What a fucking joke. Are you kidding me? This guy's gotta be kidding. Why can't he just have a switcher? He doesn't ever mention the drama here on these lines. This must be the advanced course. What does this triple top mean, son? You didn't show me everything about girls, did you?
was the very next signal on this chart. So if we look down, it's obvious that Arun is
Obvious.
agreeing. And as soon as it does,
Oh, I forgot he only gets in after it closed up. That's confirmation there. It's up, I'm in. Okay, buddy. Why didn't you buy this trap down here? Why didn't you buy when the red was bottoming out? Can't wait for that close. What a fucking tart. He would have traded right here. Gets short right there. He's allowed to sell this. Why didn't he point out this trade? It's a perfect entry according to his rules. It's up. The red is above the blue. Why didn't he take that trade? So weird. This guy's so strange.
That becomes ours.
That's ours there, son. We own that trade.
Pretty cool, right?
Pretty cool. Oh, totally cool. Dude, it's so cool.
Again, we took a loss. That's fine. We take losses.
That's okay. That's all right. She crashed the car, but she's still hot, son.
But this loss never happened.
If we would have just rented that car, we could have that extended insurance.
And then on the very next day,
Very next day, she showed up drunk at the courthouse. It's like, oh, this should be fun.
An entry, and that entry is awesome.
Awesome. Totally. Oh, yeah. And you rode it all the way to there. You endured all this punishment. This didn't bother you, this move here. You honestly tell me that this did not fucking... And then you had to sit there and tread water and go, gosh, I hope... Oh, gosh, I could have got out. Oh, gosh. I mean, really? Like, right here when she's thinking, wow, maybe I should add to that position on the doji about the moving average. What a nice, simple system. How to ruin a good moving average, single moving average system. You should be able to trade that. How hard can the rules be? When you see a doji, you get in the direction of the moving average. Yeah, you're going to get chopped. But look at, you made money here a little bit here, pointing down, got a doji. Don't matter if it's above or below. Fuck above or below. Fuck above or below. It don't matter. It just don't matter. Think about it. Slower moving average would have got you in a doji here. Okay, I get it. You could trade a moving average, but you gotta understand the entry is gotta be the fucking smallest risk. Is when the market's not doing anything. Yes, you got trips short here, and they ripped your face off and maybe stopped you up because you got into the doji, but you got to be for this guy. But can you have a trade plan for this trade and a trade plan for the doji? You need a trade plan for a big move up. So you sold, right? And eventually, if you didn't get stopped out, that was a winning trade. You buy if it's down. You buy if it's down on the day. There's a trade plan for a down day. It's called buy. Up day shell. That's rule one. Market order. Done. In the can. At the end of the day, what did the market do? Do the opposite. If you're reversal trading, and maybe even if you're trend trading, at the end of the day, in a totally blistering, crushing market that's going through this fucking hole, any bullish bar you're going to sell. No questions asked. And maybe you did have a hedge on just before you crushed through the floor and you're like, oh, dude, we just made so much fucking money on a dumb shit volatility breakout trade. Dumb shit trade. Volatility breakout. Another dumb shit trade. Even this one, you could claim you're trapped. But if you're scalping, this is a daily chart, don't forget. But this top becomes a bottom. This top kind of becomes a bottom way out here. As you take off this rooftop, doesn't spend much time up there. It's satisfied. It has come all the way back into this area. Come back home where it's safe. Run across the road. Come back home. It's always trying to heal itself from the last big vicious move. So, let's continue. It's my first time through this, so I'm kind of trying to follow along, but I did not start at the beginning of this course, so I am a little bit lacking. And the nomenclature, okay, baseline, still waiting for a see the baseline show up.
Had this baseline never existed, all right?
So baseline must be these two rules, or the baseline is the moving average. This is the baseline, this is the indicator. I think I'm getting it.
So pretend it's not there. You would have probably taken that trade, and I mean, how much drawdown were you really going to have?
Now, I would have sold there. My baseline is that I thought he meant moving average is down, therefore sell. I'm still not getting it.
You might have not been in this trade at all. You might have been out. Your exit indicator, your stop loss, whatever the case is, might have already tripped you out.
He tripped me out of that thing. I can't fuck up. Again, they tripped me out of that. I quit. Just a rig scam.
And so if you were, you never got to take part in this.
She went to the party without me. She came home hammered.
But because of the baseline...
The baseline. You mean the Uber driver? That was supposed to be her baseline. She fell out of the cab.
You took the loss, but...
Baby had a drink.
You got to re-enter at a really good time.
A really good time. Just as she was breaking up with her boyfriend. Well, her boyfriend actually was killed in a motorcycle crash, so it was perfect timing.
At no point in time did the Arun tell you to come back in.
I mean, I missed out on all these little baby entries there. I'm so heartbroken.
There were no crosses this entire time.
How is this working? Okay, I get the idea that you've got this and you run it on 40 instruments and it's kind of giving you a cherry-picked filter. And I guess that's why this guy is trading like 24 pairs or something. He got so over-filtered that he's got to run this to even get something to show up on his radar. It's not enough to trade this currency pair really bigly and supersize it on a fucking 4-hour chart. Really? You can't do that trade?
So the next time anything did cross is not there because it actually gapped and then crossed upwards. So it never crossed below.
How many people have committed suicide following this guy? Just from the utter frustration and just the whole just... I mean, Scientology looks like a better plan for life.
The line is, let's see, right there maybe? I'm looking at my screen. And
maybe. Oh boy, we got an iffy area here which spills out of that major fucking triangle. How does this guy deny this apex of this triangle? Is this guy visually blind? Is this guy kidding? I call this the condor. It looks like the that British jet. And when it goes for a landing, when it gets up in the air, the beak comes down. Like how this is the condor takeoff pattern. British Airways, they think they're blowing up or something. They said they're going to bring it back. Of course, NASA had a little problem. Yeah, NASA exists, or they wouldn't be blowing shit up. Obviously, just like Apollo. Those starter kits are a bitch.
So I can talk on the mic, so I can't really see for sure. Let's take a look. So Arun says get in here. Now this is a great example of what I'm talking about. Arun up and down, you can see the red line crosses above the blue right on top of this candle. Let's actually zoom in and take a look.
Oh, finally. Oh my God, what a relief. We can see all the amazing trades. We can see Sunday night here too. There's Sunday, right? So here's Monday. The doji, we put in a hedge. We get the fuck out. We sell if it's up. Another chance to put on a hedge. Another hedge. We see there's a hole up here, itching to be filled. And we're like, okay. They stop hunt. We have buy limits in here because we've got a nice tall vacuum. Now the sell stops would be stacking up from all the money management, all the trend, or all the whatever the hedge bots are stacking up. Not so much here because this is too much true range, too much risk for a breakout bot. And then the trend breakout guys are like, okay, we're getting a little bit long, but as soon as we trip into this window, okay, they're done. We filled it. And also all the doji traders are jumping on this because they know that they're just the mechanical traders, which I assume is doji people. They jump on this one. They put their hedges on. They even put their confirmation sell stop. To me, that's confirmation entry. There's no such thing as a confirmation indicator unless you're looking for all these planets to align, which is total fictition. You're missing the reality of the market. Look at this cute little fucking doji. The smallest daily range out of anything. Well, other than this. But you've already got this set. It's not what is the range of last week. It's what is the range of your trade plan. Are you running stops this tight? Are you looking for an expansion of daily volatility day by day? It plunges into here. Never stops. Never gets filled on limits here till here. Limits get filled here, there. One day down hard, you bought at the market. You come into Sunday night, it's flat. They drift up Monday, bam, all the way back to the floor. You're out. Okay. Same thing here. You got a buy limit trailing, right? Finally, you get filled. You bought because it was down. You bought because it was down. You got filled on limits. Buy limits are stacked up. It's down hard, you buy. It could keep tanking. But you're going to be right more than you're wrong because, well, you're going to be spread out with limit tickets here to sell. And if it's up big, you sold. Okay? If you sell here with a stop here, yeah, well, you're a fucking idiot because you got your sell limits. You got to pick a direction. You got to see that this could be resistance up here because this is higher than here. And support, I'm assuming people are talking about low. There's support here. You can see it got taken out. And I'm not allowed to buy this because, well, I can't just presume that this is going to be a head and this is going to be a shoulder and this is going to be a shoulder. Inverted. Well, how dare I assume that? Well, you don't have a choice, I don't think. You're going to assume this is a low and that you bought it and now you're up on the trade. You bought this window, okay? And maybe you did scalp out to here because we did go here, but we might have gone down here before we went up there. But that's all the better because your second bank of orders fills. Your first bank's there. Your second bank's there. Your third bank never got filled. You have to prepare for the worst. You don't know how many Nazis are knocking at the door. So if you do have loaded for bear here, you have sell limits in this pocket just going, dude, if they ever get in that window, my God, it's dumb shit. But are you going to wait 20 days for that? No, you're going to get in here, trade the breakout into the limit, or even this breakout into this limit. So here, you're going to trade breakout strategies into limits, and the breakout strategies are coming in. Here's two non-directional, easy mechanical trades. Right? You're getting in here, and you're pulled long. You get out here. So talk about entry and exit rules. You enter on a doji, you exit on a doji. Yeah, maybe you do what. See, but the rule doesn't stand here because do I enter and exit any dojis? Maybe. You take a little bit off the table, you re-enter, you do the same trade plan, right? You got to keep it simple. The total nonsense Forex is about trying to protect yourself from risk. You can't. There is no way. You just have to determine what do you think is risky. $10, $200. What's your threshold for risk? $5. Now, they have these $5 lottery tickets, scratch and win. If you told somebody, how'd you feel about risking $50 to make $100 or $5 to make $10? And you're allowed to do that, and then you tell them you're allowed to do that like 100 times. Okay, now doesn't sound so bad. So what's the effort you're going to put forth in executing the plan or even planning it out and then placing the orders? And that could be an extra taxing thing if you can't, at a glance, see the big picture or the picture on the chart you're on and just trade around that time frame. So the daily chart, I don't really have a problem putting buy limits down here in Disneyland. And if I'm asleep and for some reason they take this low out and they come in here, I want all of these tickets. It's going to be the obvious buy zone. The chances we make it there fade every day it goes up here. And then maybe you have to delete that trade plan. or it deletes itself in one day or 1 week. And obviously, anything up here, you're going to start selling for some type of pullback off of that. There has to be sellers up here, or there wouldn't be a hole. It had already gone up there and fulfilled all the sellers. Just like all the buyers that were eager here. They're getting their fill. In fact, this was not bad here because it wicked up after that, and you did not get stopped out of that. If your targets were, because it has a big volatility per candle there, this one is so big that you know that if you bought here at the end of that day and held it, you could have taken something off the table because it went up more than it went down. Here, not so much, but buy at the market and then put on your hedge. So you'd be long on 2 contracts here. You sold, but it's not big enough up to sell, see? So because it's kind of a doji as far as I'm concerned, a small body. All small bodies are dojis to me. And all big bodies are bearish and big bodies up are bullish. So it's bullish, doji. And this, I'm going to say up, bullish, not a doji, up, down. So if you were selling up bars, the bigger the bar, the wider the stop, sell this one. Maybe don't sell these. They're not up big enough. And they're also not doji. So my filter is, unless it's smashing up, do not sell at the market, or smashing down. And if it's drifting, if it doesn't, if you're going to trade the breakout system on top of the market order system, so the best way to do is 3 different styles. You have your market plan, because down big, you're going to buy, up big, you sell. But maybe you don't sell, or if you're going to trade for the adding to a position in the trend, small pullback, you can buy at the market, but with a tighter stop. So big bars get wide stops, small bars get tight stops. So you really, this way you're doing what just happened. If it's a small move, that means it's drifting. If it went down and it's just drifting up, yeah, you could sell at the market. But you are going to risk more on the big moves because you have to run a wider stop because all of a sudden the market's going into this major high probability swing mode, or just it's just down a lot. It's probably going to retrace. It's, if not the next day, maybe the next 8 days. Of course, you have to be willing to put up with that inconvenience that you may be wrong, and in the end you may be right. So at what point do you cut your losses? Well, it's different for each ticket and each kind of trader, but it's better to be multi-dimensional, so you can be a scalper and a swing trader without even being there for the scalp, because you have a scalp trap set up at the hot spots. So it is more work because you have to actually, plus there's more risk of getting filled, so it feels riskier, because if you put limits in, scattered too close together, clustered too much copying and wallpapering. So what's the point? Because you're not interweaving the risk with staggered orders. And you're just like over excited about the trade, so you put in 2 layers instead of 1. It's like when you're painting or something, you get excited about a color, next thing you know, the whole fucking thing's that color. And you had no balance. Because balancing out the stop, the limit, the market order, they should have their own purpose, you know. Market gets quiet. It's okay to run stops, in my opinion, is a true confirmation and a non-directional confirmation and a directional confirmation. The market orders are always going to be gauge how much the market's moved. If it moved a little bit up, sell with a light, tight stop. You think you're a trend continuation trader at that time, that's the only option. There's no other. This is a no-brainer. There's nothing else you can do. There's only so many things. Like chess doesn't have, the rooks and the bishops do different things. It's not, they don't do the same thing. The diagonal trade is different than the rank and file rook. There's no way for you to. That's why it's chess, right? It's 8 by 8. It's this geometric thing. if the market engulfs, it's canceled. It's over. It's a whole new game now because now the structures have all changed. Yeah, it's done. That phase is over. Conclusion reached. Then we come back to if you really want to maximize or able to switch time frames, you might go to the 1 hour chart and be able to see that pattern on the 1 hour chart. But now it's only going to be a 3 hour trade, not a 3-day trade. So patterns are kind of, they do exist outside of the time frame, but not so much because the 1 hour chart is going to look a lot noisier than the weekly structures. The monthly structures are almost noise free. And you can see just how brutal the ranging is in some of these currencies if you do look at the monthly charts. Zoomed in, with it's max zoom as you can get. This guy has like one more level of zoom in for me to feel like I could even trade this daily chart. Because what the fuck do I care about this shit on the left? All I care about is this. We're living inside this box right now. All of this shit, I don't care. Maybe if I was putting orders down here. But I think I'd be putting orders down here anyways. This definitely doesn't matter. This has all been charted. This is non-existent now. Even market profile, if it was looking, it wouldn't see this is hidden behind. Of course, the market profile is going to emphasize this trading that taken place. That's why I don't think market profile's properly done, because it shouldn't show, this shouldn't exist. And all it would see is this top, this bottom, and this bottom. So this is what all I see is that this bottom, this, and this top. And you're trapped here right now. That's all that matters to me. And I think to the market, you know, for the fact that we have not been down here, and if we ever get down there, it's going to be crazy. If we ever get above here, it's going to be crazy. For the moment, I'd rather build a position that's long in anticipation of that getting broken, or short in anticipation of this being crushed. And if it's short, then I had to sell at the market here at the end of the day. And I would have sold here, and I would have scalped something to here. So the most simplistic rule, if it's up, people are going to say, this doesn't make sense, but if it's down, you buy, down, you buy, down, you buy. It's up, you sell. But if you cannot handle this much of a pullback, and let's hope you put buy limits here, here, and here, and you picked up 2 on limits, and maybe you did have limits in this whole pocket. So you're just kind of buying at the market to add icing on the cake. You would have already bought that pullback zone, just like you already bought this one, hopefully, on trailing stop hunts. You're going to hunt retail people's stops. Or you're going to gobble up this uncharted water. And you're going to buy at the market if it's really down big. And cashing out of something, and you're buying more. In fact, you bought more, and now even these tickets are not as big a win as they were here when you could have cashed out of everything into the floor. So why did the market reverse here? Because everybody that gobbled up this whole thing when Sunday opened and came into Monday, they dumped into here or anywhere above that. That was down. The buyers came back in, and here's more fresh territory being gobbled up by your limit tickets. It's all placed in advance. You don't have to be there for these trades. It just doesn't make sense to. You know, this is prime real estate. This is bullshit. I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for that. You just baseline. Why? It's just he's trying to hurt people's brains. Is what he's doing. I gotta start drinking more because of this guy.
Right here.
I agree. Right there, man. That's the spot.
To where your baseline didn't say get in until right here.
Holy shit. See, what is he thinking? He waited till it crossed down to get in. Oh my God. He didn't think about getting in here? before the volatility kicked up and he could run tighter stops? What is he thinking?
That's a pretty big difference. I mean, you probably want those 66 pips, right? So
I want him. Give him back.
This is a really great opportunity.
Look at this breakout confirmation pullback. So here's the floor. Breaks out, pulls back into the window. People are scalping to this, to this. If it's up, you sell. No, we don't have to wait for another. Of course, I'm going against him. He's selling on a big down bar, or any down bar, and I'm buying on down bars, so that's where we disagree.
To tweak your baseline.
Tweak that baseline so good, Shiny Trade, so good now. Oh, my God.
To better accommodate.
I back tested it yesterday. You should see this thing perform.
Your confirmation indicator.
Did you curve fit it a little bit?
You don't want your baseline making your confirmation indicator worse.
Oh, God, there's nothing worse than my confirmation indicator making my baseline worse. Oh, God, it's just like I can't tolerate that.
You want to end up making it better over time.
Make it better. Like the Beatles. Make it better.
And so you need to do something about times like this, especially if they keep creeping up.
Hey, Jude, would you make it better? I will. I got the Hey Jude indicator right here.
But let's see if these situations creep up again. I have
Creeping up again. Just coming back like that damn tumor.
Feeling that it might. So the very next trade you got was this right here. So came up right here. You look down. Arun is saying no chance. Wait till we catch up. Once it did, let's see. Yeah, this candle right here. You would have pretty much entered along at the very top. And then
Really? He's kidding, right? This guy's got to be kidding. He's actually going to show us how bad this thing trades. Hell, I knew that looking at it.
then you could have survived that drawdown and still done okay. But
If you could have survived this, now, how aren't people seeing that my way's better from just a logical standpoint? You could have got in here if you could have handled that drawdown, but I was saying, if it's down, you buy. If it's down, you buy. It's down, you buy. Your dollar cost averaging and kind of martingaling. If you didn't get a stopped out of this, yes, you're getting in bigger. You buy, you buy. If you're bullish, you buy. And you have trailing limits in here, a whole pack of them here. You got a lot of dry powder back in here to get filled. You don't get filled. So you buy at the market. Fear of missing out. There's a reason why it's a fear. I wouldn't buy too much here because we're anticipating a crush of this, right? This is the first dip in the window. The scalpers have their fun. Then crush in. It's so simple. No, we got a moving average. We got this bullshit at the bottom. And he's saying, what I just said is you can handle. So why don't people agree with me? If you can handle this pullback and you can add to that, just like you could handle buy. Okay, you're up a little bit on these tickets. I got it. You could get out of that. And then you could say, you know, that's just too much. I got in too big. Let me just lighten it up a little. Isn't that what's going to be really about? He's giving you one fucking entry point. Are you kidding me? Go long here if you could survive. You're stuck in one fucking dumb shit trade. Where here I got 3 dumb shit trades. But I'm smoothing out the dumb shitness of it. I'm not stupid enough to think that any of these fucking things, even my structure entries, aren't going to be like, what if they did come down here and crush this fucking wick? And they did fill up all these tickets and I oversized the account, which I did on the demo on the Australian dollar. I put so many fucking tickets I got filled so fucking deep. Blow your mind. So I made it back to, I'm only down $1,000, damn it. New Zealand and Euro, too, same thing.
but I have a feeling your exit indicator
I
would
got a feeling
have had something to
deep inside.
say at some point in time, either here or up here for a minimal gain.
A minimal gain with maximum risk on my dumb shit indicator algorithm system I give you for free. Thank you very much.
So you would have rather gotten into this trade a lot earlier. So that isn't
Sure enough would.
another area for improvement that we can see.
There's always room for improvement, son. I know you think that you can trade now. Once we clear up some of these indicator issues, I know there's a little disconnection. There's loose wire on the dashboard. That oil gauge ain't right. Something's wrong with my indicators, son. I can smell the motor burning. The indicator says everything's fine.
Baseline has already done some good things, but in
Done some good things. It's like communism, They keep the trains running on time to concentration camp.
terms of playing well with the rest of your system,
They play well with the rest of the kids in the playground. Just can't you get along with other people? Why do you have to be so fucking critical? You're knowing me. You were trolling the whole fucking thing here.
that's where the game is really won.
That's where the game's run. In the ring, dude. When the bell rings, you come out fighting. Come on. Don't be doing weird shit behind the scenes.
And you have to
Manipulating the market and all that.
make sure these things agree.
We all agree. I like to go along to get along. Just go along to get along. Why you gotta be such a, those nails get hammered down. You stand up and complain.
Another cool thing to see on this example is right here on the very next trade.
Oh boy, more punishment from his indicator. I think this is gonna be a winner. Hold on, guys. So he's gonna get in on a big down confirmation because that means it's going down more.
That was a short.
We call this chasing the market.
Arun is still saying long.
Aruna? Oh my God, that's the name of somebody sent me this indicator. I remember this, Aruna. What do you think of Aruna? Somebody, I know what this indicator is now. Aruna my account.
But
But, there's always a but. That's when I oversized and Harold said, have you seen a CCI indicator? I think it's better than Aruna by far.
finally did tell you to go short
I back tested it for 5,500 years.
right about here. And that's fine.
And that's fine. That's fine that you missed the top. Well, it's fine with us. We're confirmation traders. You think we're just fucking every girl we see?
You lost a little bit, but that's 18 pips.
At least you didn't get venereal disease. Now look at you, son. Move along. You're doing fine. You only lost a few pips. Come on, you can come back. Just shake it off.
You would have entered right here, and this trade is still yet to be seen.
Yet to be seen. He's short. Oh boy, poor thing. We already scalped out. Ain't sticking around for no more of this whiplash shit.
He'd have been
Get whipsawed and whiplash. Oh, my neck hurts trading with this guy.
up about 33, down 15. No big deal.
No big deal. It's never a big deal. This guy's kidding. Just top hunted down. No big deal. We're sticking to our indicators. Just hang in there, son. You'll see. The indicator's a very moral system. It's very righteous. We're following rules here, can't you see?
But that is a situation where
This ain't no fucking chaos camp. This is some boot camp now. I was watching that Wayne McDowell guy talking. He's going to college and stuff. He's still learning.
if we were to follow the one candle rule, we would have just never entered this trade to begin with. But when it comes
Wow, we've never gotten any of these bad trades off the ground.
to the baseline, we don't. We allow the rest of our system ample time to catch up.
We let our system catch off. We know it lags, so what we're going to do here, son, let me sit you down. We built a system that's got some lag in it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to wait for the lag. Oh, as Johnny says, why don't we just get rid of the lag thing and just look at out the window? Oh no, son, we look out the rear, see what we run over,
The question we have to ask ourselves is,
Why am I watching this guy?
is
Yes, I'm asking myself every time I watch the No Nonsense Forex guy. He's going deep. All right, my brain hurts.
this entire system getting us into a trade at the best possible time?
The best possible time. Let me see. Well, she's on her period, so we can do the rhythm method.
And combine that with how well it actually eliminates further losses.
Oh my God.
It's quite a bit. Aren't you glad we did this last?
Oh, boy, you're not kidding.
This is a lot to think about.
Oh, let me catch up. Dude, is this guy kidding? God, he has to be. There's just no way. How can he, with a straight face, go through this chart like this? Can't he see what's going on with the price action?
But just like everything else on this channel,
On this channel, when you're in the Scientology building, you have to behave in a certain manner. You don't want to get written up, do you? You end up on that duty where you're in the bow of the ship.
once you understand it and once you start putting it into practice, it becomes very easy.
Uh-huh.
And it becomes very exciting because a good baseline is just an awesome thing on its own.
Oh, man, I love a good baseline. Gets me all excited. Oof.
Let's look at the euro dollar.
Whew.
Euro dollar daily chart, and we have the same old 20 period SMA on here. And you're going to notice a little something here. When this thing goes with the trend, which is...
So I can already see my trade. Can everybody see? Everybody asks me, I don't get, what is your strategy, by the way? Could you explain your strategy? You're always making fun of these other people. Simple. If I see a motherfucking day that's like this, I am so buying that. I don't even care if I got a trading account. I'm buying that. I don't care if I got to use your trading account. I don't care if to phone a friend. Hey, now let's just hope to fucking heaven that I already had buy limits down here, a massive grid of like end of the world shit. And maybe even I started here because I'm so fucking aggressive, which I probably did. Buy. Buy at the market. One ticket just for good luck. It comes back to the floor. And nobody's going to sell it no more. Because you're supposed to sell every up bar in a downtrend. And maybe I did get out. That's a trader. Ball here, got out there. What if I did that? Just bought. So let's hope I could see this. This hole left behind. Is this ripped up? And maybe I bought and I never let go of that trade, just like he did earlier. When it breaks out, when it comes to this doji and people, it blows through these wicks and it comes back and you get a top bottom here, kind of on close only. That trapped these people. And you bought only when it was down. You did not buy it as it was going up, even though that made money. You could have bought every up bar too, right? I'm not saying you couldn't buy an up bar. I bought. But maybe you bought on buy stops after a small bar. Buy stops after sell stops never filled. Trailing sell stop. But what if you, and this is the daily charts, so hopefully you could see this. Not to mention the fact that maybe you're still holding this ticket because it has a stop here and it's looking to make this much, and it finally does. Inside of all this stuff, there's so much going on. If you really wanted to get on the bull train, you're going to have to drop down to a time frame that has a pullback. And it may only be the half-hour chart. Are you willing to get in that pullback? Because that is going to be, in my estimation, going against the trend. I mean, you're basically getting counter entry into a trend. It's down. It's the first pullback. It's the only chance to get on the bull train in a daily situation is the clean pullback. Yes, you could have bought here, but you also could have bought the pullbacks. I'd rather buy the pullback on the 4-hour chart inside this thing. I'm not going to chase this. And maybe I did sell this big up bar. I sold those, but I didn't sell any other big up bar till here. And eventually this became a winner, I could say. Right? There's so many ways. There's so many rules, but the filter is going to be the stop. If you can afford to run from a 200 to a 20 pip stop in 50 pip increments, you got, what is it? 8 trade plans. You could have 6 stop. You could have 50 pip stops all the way to 250 pips. You could have a 250 pip stop trade, but you can't overtrade the 250 pip stop trade and say, oh, well, it's okay because I wrote a $25 risk. It's not okay if there's not enough money in the account to keep hammering that key as they keep coming into hopefully your limits, and now you've oversized the fucking trade. And of course, any trade that's oversized, even if you're right in the long run, is going to stop you out or blow up the account. I hope everybody realizes that if you get in a car that has too much fucking horsepower for the road you're on, even though that car is a high-performance car, doesn't mean you won't die because you're on the wrong terrain. You can't take a fucking scalp plan into a swing environment because they'll take you out. I mean, a tight sniper plan is not the same as a fat, fundamental swing trader slob 300 pip stop trader. It's two fucking different worlds. Now, it doesn't mean you can't do both things, but if you are staring at the scalp as you're scalping, how you feel about it in the background, you got this other shit that involves trading, and it's on a different time frame. If it's okay with you, do that. But I think a lot of people are happy if they just fucking trade. But you have to discover what kind of person you are. Are you the guy that's going to trade? They see yourself having the patience to wait for 8 days to get paid, or 3 days to get paid, or 1 day. If it's just going to be a clean reversal and you plan it and you go, you know what? If they go into new lows, I'm betting that will be the edge of the market. I'm betting this is going to be the head or the shoulder. Maybe I'm going to bet this is a double top. I'm going to bet that, and I'm just going to place the orders and walk away. Now, it's different than staring at the 16-minute chart with your finger on the trigger going, oh, yeah, right here. I think right here I could get it. Yeah. All right, maybe you should be on the 5-minute chart if you're thinking like that, because then you could say, yep, top of the hour. Okay, bam, I'm out. And then I just don't know how long people can stare at the market looking for this optimal trade entry on a 15-minute chart, thinking that if they stare at the chart that they'll pull the trigger at just the right time because of this or that. I think even if you're even trading at the market with a 100 pip stop, you're kind of saying, okay, I think we're going up. I mean, probably going to go lower. But in the long run, we're going up, so just buy it here. Real lightly with a wide stop. Okay, well then, next thing you're going to think is, would I buy this if it dropped 50 pips? And if the answer is yes, well then just put the limit in and walk away. So buy one at the market, put a limit at, walk away. And if you think you want to have the stop entry, maybe you put it 5 or 10 pips above. But I wouldn't put it 50 pips above, because then aren't you saying, would you rather sell up there? How do you know it's even going to be screaming when it gets up there? Especially if your buy stop is right where the fucking battle's going to be, the next hot spot. The next very narrow slot of vacuum. That would not be good. You want to be good enough where you can say, oh yeah, we're going up now. Look what day of week it is. Look where we are on the chart. And even if we're not going up, at least you kind of know, we're going to make a little bit of money here alongside. And maybe they're going to trounce you. But if they do, then hopefully they take out your stops in a kind of a soft stop manner. And you got some buy limits below. And now you're like, oh, this is even better. Because it wasn't done going down. And the lower it goes, the more vicious the retracement will be. It's just a known fact. You can see it on every chart. Now, a slow drip down can keep tanking if you're coming up on this giant cavern of nothingness. Yeah, it can just fucking shear it down. But once it dips in that window, and it doesn't start to pick up steam in that direction, then something's up. If you're constantly in hedge mode where all you do is trade on stops, buy stops, sell stops, they have a certain time expiration, that's probably the ultimate mechanical trader. Or confirmation mechanical trader. Now, if you're trading pure market orders based on, well, what happened the last day, and I think that the limit orders are all structure auction trades. So there's 3 different things going on there. There's definitely 3 different approaches to what's the criteria and does it make sense to be doing this strategy of buying new lows and selling new highs, even though it could keep going against you, of course. But you have to have some type of, in other words, the style of the order dictates the method or the reason for the trade. So all market orders have a different reason than limit orders, or they'd be called the same thing probably. I just think that it's a tool to enter the market. How do you use a limit order as opposed to how do you use a Market order. Well, market order, obviously, just pull the fucking trigger. So that's the other consideration. Then they have the you have the problem of the stop order because you can't, going into a quiet session, you do want them to stack up, and you can overtrade the short. So the market's plunging, imagine, and you can run 15-minute, half-hour buy stops and kind of run a lot of them because what you're doing there is trying to say, well, if the market starts to back up, I want to get involved immediately in the next backup. As it comes gushing back, and some of those half of those are scalps, so it comes ripping back, and great. And then it's the tightest you're kind of getting in on the reversal. Whereas when it's plunging like that, you'd have to run your limits wider because you don't, when it picks up steam, you got to lay the track out bigger in front of the train. And at the end of each time period, every hour, every 4 hours, I'm going to get into the market, no questions asked. And if it is a screaming down 300 pips, I'm running a 600 pip stop. But it satisfies me psychologically because I know it's a logical trade, and it kills the fear of missing out. Because I have a fear of missing out. I mean, every time I show up at the party, after the cops come, all the no more music. I've seen the show up at the party. Like, it's just like, oh, the cops raided the party. You're late again. So you don't want to chase it, so that's why you're getting it now. Or maybe you are chasing it. So it's not bad to chase either. I just wouldn't chase everything. So none of this is bad if you have multiple trade plans because then you have to say, oh, I'll chase it. And I'll also go for the stop hunt. I'll also go for the even the confirmation trade. I am waiting for some stupid moving average crossover. Or to me, it's a reason to stay in the trade more often. I mean, if it is lagging, then it's just a confirmation to hold, not to get the fuck in and out. I mean, if anything, what this guy's doing is not really abiding by what a moving average is so loose of a gauge of trend or whatever he's using. He has the one candle rule, which he's getting in opposite of me, but too many filters. He's only on the daily chart. Now, if he went to the 4-hour chart, his head might spin. There'd be too many signals for him. But, that's it. He's obviously at 11,000 views. Either people are fascinated by the stupidity or these are authentic fans of his. I don't know.
Is ultimately what a baseline really has you attempt to do. It typically keeps going.
It has me attempt to do, although I will not do it. I'm totally the most stubborn motherfucker, and I will not comply.
And you can tell by the direction that the SMA is turning.
Is turning. Well, it's turned. It's going down there. So yeah, with this, I do agree. If we're going down, let's just sell. Every time it's quiet, we'll sell 2 sells. Filled on sell stops. I'll buy. I'll go with the vacuum crush. I'll ride into that. Stops into limits. Breakouts into limit orders. Right? Breakouts in the sell. Sell limits are all placed up in here. How'd that trade work out for you? Well, it took about 3 days, but we made money on that. How this sell limit, how this cup and handle trade. I call this a cup and handle trade, although you're selling the cup and you're buying the saucer. You're selling into the cup. I like that cup and handle bullshit. Dude, what's the trade on a cup? Well, you buy the handle after the cup's formed. Oh, great. You mean I get in right here? Yeah, you get in right, yep. Get in right here at the handle. Here's the cup. Buy the handle. It keeps going up. Oh, didn't go up that time. Sorry, should have bought the cup. Well, why don't you just buy the fucking saucer? Jesus Christ, people. Stop away from it. Even the chart pattern things are like a goof. Like, oh, the most successful pattern is the engulf pattern. And I suppose, well, this is an auction, the end of an auction. And I suppose, yeah, well, at some point, but isn't the hammer the best? Because if you just slice the time frame, a hammer's in a golf. Obviously.
In your algorithm, you're going to ignore this, but this is just for example purposes. Watch. The moving average is going down.
This is for example purposes only, people. Do not try this at home.
Price thought it would go.
Price thought it would go. That price be thinking again. I told you, stinking thinking, son. You keep drinking.
The current and really gave you nothing.
got my bullish candle confirmation, and then, damn it, we got burned again. Maybe we should trade against the market.
But as soon as it went with the current right here, gave you something really awesome.
You always give awesome stuff. That's so awesome what you gave me there, son. I'm a big sell-off. I didn't get out. Yeah, they came in hunting my stops.
We're going to talk about this in a minute. But
In a minute.
again, SMA going downward, crosses downward. Really nice trade. Tried to go against it. Moving average is tilting downward just a little bit. Price tried to go against that. Nothing.
Why would this go down? Got in, good trade. No, it's up. Get in, good trade. If you're going to do that trade. But how did you not sell up here in the reverse? We don't trade reversals. How many times I got to tell you?
And then this is another opportunity we can talk about right here.
We could talk about that. It's like the Democrats. We could have a conversation.
So beyond that,
Is there anything beyond this? This is the end all be all. This is the end of, we're almost to the fucking bridge. OT8 level.
let's pull up another confirmation indicator
Could you, would you?
just to add another.
Oh, God, I thought he'd never ask. I know it ain't Fibonacci because him and I agree Fibonacci's bullshit. But he thinks that his indicators are hugging the market so good. And he's sniffing out all these good trades.
Layer to this, and
Another layer.
I'll show you how that works
She's got leg warmers on, too.
too. Let's find something
I think that's hot, them leg warmers. Flash dance girl.
that we've talked about before. Where's Chaikin?
Oh, God. Don't forget this is for the homies. This one's for the 21 girls.
Chaikin money flow. This was in the algorithm piece video.
Sort of.
20's fine. Colors. Let's make it just a bit lighter so people can see it. And make sure
People? You mean people watching this? I thought I was the only one.
we have a zero line there, and make sure
There's people out there listening.
there's an actual
Don't make fun of my no-nonsense Forex. He'd learn me a lot.
color. Okay, perfect. So
Perfect. Picture perfect. Ooh. It's like RSI. 20 period RSI? Yeah. The CMF indicator. Is this his own special brew? You know what that looks like? It looks like a CCI or RSI or something. Divergence. I like that entry. Here, no divergence. He's got such a slow. He's got it set at 20. He's got it all smoothed out. 20, because you know what? That's 20 SMA. He's got 20. Here's all calibrated. Here's a divergence. Right there, son. Get the fuck in that trade. Here's a failed reversal. More of a bought, lower price than here. So that's the Cardwell entry. Then you got, severe divergence. I call it severe divergence on it. Divergence causes a reversal here at the bottom. I can't mark it, but you can see here. This divergence caused this heavy reaction here. Dead cat bounce into an overbought at a lower price than here. We project off on that. We get a target here. Target met. You come underneath the floor here. Everybody gets in. Got almost a triple divergence on the indicator right here. And we broke the trend line on the indicator too. We broke this trend line here. This is a chance to go short on a trend line break of indicator. So if you do use trend lines, you can put it on this indicator and get in before the crowd. Because this trend line got in about the same place. Trend line of price. Here's a nice divergence, I think. Whatever this is at the bottom, I'm assuming this is momentum. So here's your reversal entry. You see the Cardwell entry, more oversold, but a higher price. So here come the trend traders, real heavy. Also the wave 4, doji, 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 bam. And the mechanical stop entry people. Then we have the sell at the market people. If it's up, Here's a thing. Here, buy. No profits, buy. No profits, buy. Big profits. Here comes into, maybe you go into a hedge here. You make back what you lost here. So another thing is if they stop you out, this is Bill Williams' trick. If you have your parachute trade, like you're long, right? But what you're going to do here is stop and reverse. You're not only going to get stopped out, you're going to sell. You're going to admit you're wrong, and you're going to sell here. It's another approach. Same thing here. You think this is the top, it's going to sell, it's going to keep tanking. No. Just put on a hedge when it gets quiet. Go, I don't know what the fuck's going on, dude. I guess it's going down. You could ride it out of this. 1 day trigger. 1 day signals. Couldn't get any easier. Well, no. It can't, but it can also be very frustrating if you do that trade plan down here where you're getting all whipsawed here. What the fuck's going on? Interesting. Yeah, because the market can just... And why is it doing it? Because we're really at the edge of like, are we going to go down here? Like, holy shit. People are like, well, this is support. This is support. And we're all done filling that hole. Don't forget, the cause for this rally is the buyers here and here, right? Because that's the psycho wick. You never get filled on your limits here, but look at this dense area. Holy shit. The eager buyers like me bought this, and I wasn't even at break even until 2 days later. Here, perfect scalp. Got buy limits right in this 3 day pocket. Wow. Not a bad dead cat bounce. Now you trade, every bar has a trade plan. Maybe sell stop stacking up here. This bar is too big to put a buy stop on. You have to wait for this bar to close. Or you bought here because it pulled back. And you think that this floor is going to be rejected now. It's going to come up here. And then you're going to sell up here. And it's going to come back to here. You know you got to get out here if you sell here. That's just the rules of the road. Come on, there are rules. But these are structural rules that have been laid out by the market. They don't care about your percentage of account risk or your 20 pip stop. Whatever this market is trading in, current volatility and daily, the structure is determining the size of your stop. It's just that simple. The market is its own glossary to itself. You don't have to put stuff on top of this for it to make sense. And all the rules he has, you could just die. Like, you're either fucking or you're not. Well, I guess you could be making out and kissing. Sorry. That's what all his indicators are, just like clothing, right? You could have a million outfits, but in the end, unless you're going to just unzip your pants and bang through your clothes, you're probably going to take off your clothes and have sex. Okay? So at some point, right? And it's naked trading, right? This is just the chart. Of course, I have candlesticks here, which is a lot of info. I prefer line chart on top of a bar chart. Just one period moving average so we can see the story played out in tops and bottoms. So here you really got to think about it. You got to really hunt out the line chart inside here. So why the indicator at the bottom is a better line chart for doing those tops become bottom theories on the bottom. So you see a top became a bottom, so I bought here, right? So I have a justification on the indicator to trade it as if it is price. Pulls back, this top became a bottom, I could say. Or I could just draw a trend line and just buy there. I could also say I'm going to sell above the 50, and I'm going to buy below the 50. I'll start writing trailing buy stops. As soon as this comes down, I got trailing buy stops in place. Okay, that's a good trade. As soon as it goes up, I got trailing sell stops. Whatever rule it is, but the more layers of different entry techniques, I think, right? There's got to be some way to make money out of this chaotic price movement.
So let's see how this works. So remember how I told you to pretty much ignore where this line is tilting overall, because your indicator, your main confirmation indicator, and all the other pieces are pretty much going to do that part for you.
God, I'm glad. I mean, I hate doing all this stuff myself. Hurts my brain. I prefer to atrophy behind my computer and all my indicators. Just gonna sit back and do all that hard math work for me. I can't be thinking about prices. The fuck, do I look like a trader?
So you can see.
Driving a car, do I look like I own a car? Dude, I'm gonna rely on the idiot lights.
When it crossed and closed above and gave you a long signal, it was a bad signal.
He has no respect for his trading account. I mean, people take better care of their car than this guy takes of this account.
There really wasn't much there, and there's a lot of downside.
His system actually is going to go long here because it powerfully broke out above the moving average. It's just hysterical. He keeps referring to that entry. He must have made money on that fucking stupid trade. Well, you only made money one day on that. So I built this whole prop house around that. And I elected myself vice president. Now, what would you like to say? Well, step up to the plate there, haters. Haters, get in line.
But you would have never been in it because if you look down.
I said don't look down. How many times I got to tell you?
Line was below zero.
He's using above and below zero. Are you kidding me? At least he's going for overbought and oversold. But see how he's denying some of the best trades on the chart. It's a crime. This guy's like a mental crime.
And when you have a zero cross indicator and the line is below.
When you have a zero cross indicator and a base line, and I got that hocus pocus red blue line shit going on in the background, I can't even tell you about it. I have to kill you.
Zero, you don't get to go long.
You don't get to go long now, son. I know what you're thinking. Looks like a good place to go long, but sure as fuck ain't.
That's why these indicators exist.
They exist to save you like a safety belt in your car. You know when you're driving all crazy and fast?
So you would have never been a part of that loser. But it's
Actually, that's what Bill Williams calls it, the airbag trade. that if you go long here, and this is your airbag, hurry up and go short and play the stop. Be the stop guy. In other words, if the stops are being hunted, you could be selling with the plunge protection team. You're either selling that, sell, but don't fucking keep selling. At some point, you've got to cash out, or are you buying into that? So this is the ultimate question. Are you the guy gobbling up this sale, or are you riding the crush into it and just kind of having this burst momentum trade where you're selling, except if you keep selling more and more in period of position, now it's like martingaling. Adding to a winner is as bad as adding to a loser because you're getting so big of a size. Sell, and then and if you have a stop here, then they're like, holy shit, well, I thought it was going to keep going down like the guy said. If it goes down, I back tested it and everything.
As soon as the winter came around, right here, you look down, Shaking Money Flow says go right ahead.
Shaking Money Flow. It's money flow. Forgot there's money flow there. You can see the money flow. Go with the flow. They always say go with the flow. Wait for the big boys and then you can get in. Not safe for you to get in now. You're just a dumb shit retail trader. Watching no nonsense Forex is what I'm doing.
And you did.
And you did. Now look at you. I told you no kids.
Now up here, you took a loss right here.
Oof. You mean we didn't get out?
Because if you look down, Shaking Money Flow said the line is above zero. We're in a long program. You go right.
I can't take it, dude. I got to bail. I can't fucking take it no more. I cannot fucking take it. There's another guy out there who has the answer. He's the fucking cure for this motherfucker. I just became a big fan. It's the first video that I looked up and I said, yes, that is it. The 3-day bar, the 4-day bar, the 4-bar, 3-bar entry trigger trade. You can make a living from that. Come on. So, no nonsense Forex guy. I can't resist reading the comments here, so I'm going to go through the 190 comments. And I'm just too curious. What are they saying? Amazing. Can't wait for the next 2 videos about baseline. You guys mean more baseline fun? I guess I didn't watch the end. He promises 2 more videos about this bullshit. I'm learning a lot. Thank you so much, VP. Well, I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad for Carlos. or Santos, that he's learning from this. I guess, right? This is the path. When you learn this, and then you wake up to what's really going on, and when you get woke about the vacuum, you'll be like, I can see why people aren't doing that. It's not going to work for me. It's so fucking stupid. Will Brown says, do you remember that feeling when you first learnt to ride a bike? The moment you changed to being in control of the bike rather than the bike having gravity being in control. Yep. You will still fall off and take some bands a bit faster than you should, as you know. Continue to learn. Thanks. What a great analogy. Riding a bike. Thanks for taking the stabilizers off. The training wheels? Bless you, Will. I guess it's amazing considering, these could be people that just never thought about the market in realistic terms of how fucking ridiculous the market really is, and that all this kind of filtering is just like ridiculous. Rose-colored glasses, we used to call it. You're looking through a wonderful scene. Thank you. Wish they had a double thumb up button. Wow. Don't ever say that about one of my videos. That's dual gay. I wish they had a double thumb up button. Come on. So actually, there's 2 entry indicators and 2 exit indicators. Whichever happens first. Am I right? Now this is so cruel because poor Janny is kind of thinking in terms of, well, if one's good, two's better philosophy. How about 3? I like a good threesome. I'm being the 4th person though. So actually, there are 2 entry indicators, and yeah, you got that right. No, you want 3, buddy. 9 hours ago. 11 hours ago. Hello, amigo. Wow. Interesting opening. Very south of the border. Thank you so much. Oh, from Brazil. Oh, that's his name? Obligatory? What the fuck? Where is that? Forex scammers will hate this channel. God, I hate it already. I ain't even a scammer. I couldn't wait for this week's video and wish next week's video was not 7 days away. What am I going to do? Keep working out there, John. John got muscles. Time to tweak the baseline. That's what I'm talking about. Are you a tweaker? Only with baselines. I gotta zoom in here, get a picture of this guy. Wow, this guy, John. John, step away from the dumbbells. That feeling when you can't figure out why your signals are trash and realize you altered your Erun indicator way from its base settings. Yeah, got a little tight on the settings. You got whiplash. You got signals coming out all over the place. Yeah, gotta be careful of those indicators, people. Watch out for the settings. Thanks, VP. Please add my email to your list. God, the guy gives out his email. 007. Wow, that's very fucking clever. Minimum FX 007. Don't forget to email me. No reply from Mr. Forex. No nonsense. Insert goat. Get it. How about insert sheep? Can I say that today I am elg? My elg. Can I say today my elg makes much more sense? No nonsense. FX. Thank God for making my elgo make sense again. Make your elgo make sense again. So, 19 hours ago, if the big banks move price, oh boy, wouldn't you want to trade like them instead of using an indicator heavy system? Please explain, VP. Uh-oh, here we go. Brace yourself, people. We cannot trade like the big banks do. Impossible. It's impossible to do. It's impossible to make money trading. Because the big banks make money trading, right? It is impossible. We cannot trade like the big banks. Well, if you mean that we can't trade, I don't know what that means. What are the big banks doing that I can't do? Holding a loss for 1,000 pips? Maybe. Right? So you're telling me the big banks are basically holding a loss. Well, they might be hedging. Oh, gee, think about that. Maybe they're just living off the swap. Maybe they got a hedge on. Oh no, they wouldn't do that, would they? You mean they're not even really taking any risk on? VP, 19 hours ago. VP, you are very talented. Thanks for your help. Very talented. Ugh. About what? Frying my brain? Hey, VP, how do you deal with so many indicators on your charts? Because I hate putting so many on at one time. It shrinks the chart down in my viewing. The actual chart, what's your advice? Let me guess. He's going to say, well, use the indicators that are on the price. Don't put any in the down panel. Or scrunch them down. Or don't put so many on. Let me see. My advice is not to worry about pretty things like this. Petty things like this. Oh my God. What a dick. What a cunt. That's not, he should have said, well, cut down the indicators, stretch the scale. Take your scale, right mouse click, expand it. My advice is not to worry about petty things like this. Like your visual interpretation of the shit you're trading. Well, fucking retarded. Well, I'm gonna have to answer him later. What a dumb shit. What a dumb shit answer. I'm gonna say, you kidding, right? VP, 20 hours ago. VP, how do you backtest a baseline? Do you do it alone or with other people? Do you do it alone or do you do it with your other indicators? Always test baseline alone, son. I tell you that. And go back to the beginning now. You just went to OT level 0. Now look at you. You got 8 more years again ahead of you and $40 more thousand of training. If you guys want to track your trades while backtesting, just for future reference, you can always use my FX portfolio. Thanks, Al. Thanks for that advice. Bless your heart for helping this guy out, this lonely trader. VP, edited 20 hours ago. VP, will you be able to see an example of the whole algorithm working together? Will we be able to? That's what I've been wondering. When are we going to see this thing performing at top efficiency without any fucked up entries? With dummy indicators or perhaps some of the top 100. Don't forget, this motherfucker got at his access 100 indicators he can imply on the chart and tweak each one of those. That we're talking 1,000 indicators now. It's got versions upon versions. Does anybody think indicators really get possibly towards the end? Oh, this is going to end one day? Oh no, Mr. Not Just Forex Guy, don't stop posting these retarded videos. What am I going to do? Ace of Baseline. Oh, that's just so funny. Instead of Ace of Base. This guy's hilarious. The take profit tour 2019. Good, VP. And he gave it a heart. I love you, Mr. Him and his wife. Now look at, he scored a blonde girl. White supremacist dates a blonde girl. What, a blonde white girl. What's the chance? No bullshit trader says 23 hours ago. At first I was so skeptical about you, VP, but at the moment I tried one of your not so good tools that you mentioned and give it and it give me better results than how I was trading in the last 2 years. Awesome. By the way, I trade on stocks and I think your algorithm can works good. God, it's so, every time I see bad grammar, I just freak out. I literally can't read. I'm so expecting all the normal. One day ago, very P. Huh. I am gonna meet you someday. Uh-oh. We've had these people. Everybody gets somebody like this in their channel. I'm going to meet you someday and kill you. Like, remember John Lennon when he was outside of the Dakota? I am going to meet you someday. You are already loved and appreciated. I've got pictures of you all in my room. You are #1 mentor now. Probably the only in Forex. Wow, really? You're not cheating on me, are you? I hope I am. Oh, he loves it. Oh, I love you, man. I'd be calling the FBI. Dude, you got a stalker. I'm gonna meet you one day. I want to see you with that algorithm in your hand. I watched a lot of your videos, but I'm still making money off trend lines. Good for you, son. God damn it. It's about time. I watched a lot of your videos, but I'm still making money off trend lines and support resistance. So why is this? My trading history is 4 years trading and still profiting. I like your videos, though. P.S. I'm a naked trader. Now, here we go. Naked trading. That's what I'm talking about. Good work. I'm going to have to, when I'm done with the video, I'm going to go back and go. Great fucking clear thinking. It's about time. Mushy fucking moving averages. This is awesome, VP. I feel much more confident now. Aww. Now she's going to go out and... She's a top recipient on this channel. Where is this coming from? I noticed that YouTube's got a new algorithm for comments now. They take you down this pathway where you can still watch the video. There's so much shit going on YouTube, I can't keep up with the edits. But now this is a top recipient on this channel. True stalker. One day ago. Should your second indicator have more noise than your first indicator? When I find what I think is the perfect confirmation indicator, perfect, usually after several other indicators, I find one that's better. And if I were to keep that former one as a second indicator, I find that it's similar to the first indicator, but more lagging. Great discovery. You indicator sleuth, you. Yeah, well, the faster one's going to be more noisy. What the fuck? Which indicator is it? I can't tell you that. I got to kill you. So exciting, but so overwhelmed. I'm underwhelmed and I'm bored. That's just me. Oh, he loves them. Excellent. Boy, that's concise. Hey, somebody's stealing my idea of using a chart for their icon. Great work. Had the SMA already before the announcement, but this answers a lot of questions for me. Thanks. You're welcome. Uh-oh, no. Somebody else steps in. The 20 SMA middle band of the Bollinger Band could be the nearest baseline for swing traders, yes. I think so. Based on what this guy's doing. The furthest baseline would be the Golden Cross 50 EMA toward the 200 EMA. And read more. The Death Cross. Oof. For position traders. Yes, because wide stops are needed for 50, 100, 200 moving average. I like that. Position traders mean I have a 600 pip stop in this trade. How can you have haters and disbelievers when you throw up two random, pretty poor indicators onto the chart and have an already winning algo? People who deleted you after the fib trend lines video have just lost out big time. You losers. How not you believe this, you hater losers. And some chick, Sarah. Oh, she's a loved participant. Oh, he just loves her comment. Disbelievers. You throw up two random, pretty poor indicators. Yeah, because he's keeping the good indicators himself. Besides the content, which is impeccable, your intros become legendary as well. Yeah, that music's so cringy. Fuck, what is it? 90% distortion, square wave. Thanks, VP. This video nailed it for me. Nailed it. I have been using MAs as a baseline, but not the way you have explained. I see a lot of improvement going forward. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to use it, you know. Yeah, VP. So far, up to here, I'm still good with my indie collections, forming my algos, but I won't say eureka until I see the next two videos on baseline. Thanks for opening my eyes. Oh, God. I hope I don't see anybody here I know. Wouldn't that be a shocker? One of my friends is involved in this guy's gooberness. Feel the bass. DJ Magic Mike. Is this guy, is he a DJ? Somebody said this guy's a DJ. Make car go boom. Had to be an old to know that song. Okay, thanks. Thank you, VP. Just wondering how other people are actually implementing their trade. Me too. Very curious. On 3 of the MT4 platforms I've tested, they set the stop and target for each of the 2 trades, half volume each, to the same value. Granted, I may be missing something here. Thanks. Wow. I'd say yes, you could be missing something. Oh, we got this nice Hebe in here. Shalom, superb videos always. God, I thought you Jews were smart. What happened to that, algo? Jesus, how Jewish is this motherfucker? Hasidic motherfucker. Hey, VP, is it bad a thing to use UMA as an exit indie if you have a really good one? Or is it not advised? I would not advise it. You can see the guy's question is so fucking dialed in like it would make any fucking difference. Dude, you got to realize your question is so ridiculous. It's so petty. It's so silly. It's as petty as asking why can't I fit all the fucking indicators on my chart. I get so excited on Mondays and Thursdays. It ain't natural. It makes me want to dance. Oh, he's got some fucking... Oh, Rubik's Cube. That's it. Has any fellow programmer automated this? This is what I've been asking for a long fucking time. Just, if it works, just fucking run a robot. I think it will automate minds. But I'm curious if it's just ineffective or a waste of time. Oh no, if it works, I mean, come on, do it, right? Don't want to do anyone else's system just in case. Oh, would they sue you, or when that algo becomes everybody's using it, the market stands still? Great video. It seems that for money management purposes, I would be best to use baseline as your stop to eliminate drawdown and decrease. Yeah, I think for money management or something. Yeah. I think that's really what it is an overly managed money system. It would be great if you share your insight. Share your insight. I think I might be oversharing on this video. Discord permanent link. Oh, God. I'd like to go into Discord. It'd crack me up. They probably wouldn't let me in. I just hide out in there. I'm curious, though. You know, you can learn a lot from people that don't know shit. Or they have a different view of shit. I mean, or, you know what, maybe somebody there has a really good, like that guy with the trend lines. I am a big fan of trend lines because of the hard fucking truth of, okay, I'm putting a line, and this is my line. Where the moving average is, I just feel like I have no idea what data, like even if it's 20 days, the trend lines are adapting moving averages. And they're also a hard gauge of volatility. Whereas the moving averages, the Bollinger Band tries to answer that question. Can we put volatility into the moving average? Yeah, with a percentage of, I think the Bollinger Band might be based on the current range or current ATR. The bands get closer. It's a percentage of that. So they scrunch together. Can someone explain me something? Is it not related to this video, but Ask VP being shut down for the weekend? I figure someone would know the answer. Thank you if you shut down for the weekend. He tried to get a hold of him? So in the money management playlist, VP is explaining how to never risk more than 2% of your account. Oh, that bullshit. Then he proceeded to explain the ATR formula. Oh, God, 1x true range. 1 to 5x true range stop loss position. There's no problem so far. However, when it comes to knowing how much dollar per pip I need to put in to understand that 2% of my account, yeah, no shit. Divided by 1.5 ATR will give me a certain number that tells me what is the pip value. In the video, this is why you always start with dollar risk and find if you can afford to fucking even trade that goddamn instrument. God's sakes, people, fucking be realistic. If the fucking thing's moving 400 pips a minute, maybe you can't fucking even trade it. God, why are people 2% of my account and I'm going to go out and use a really good indicator? Yeah, that's going to work. Well, you might make 10% a month, but we want to make more than that because we ain't going to live that long, okay? Besides, if you got to pay for all the expenses and all the losses and all the drama in trading, there is no problem so far. However, when it comes to knowing how much to risk per dollar, in the video, he made the pip value, VP, was 7.79. Well, at least it was 7.80. Then he proceeds to buy 0.78 lot. That's 78,000 units. Oh my God, this is worse than I thought. So this dumb shit, VP, is going to risk 2% of his account because his indicator said to get in, and so he got in a $78,000 one ticket position. So let's say I'm about to enter the trade, and the pip value I got from the formula is 6.39. Does this mean that I have to buy and sell 64? Well, I might just trade 0.001% of your account 20 times, maybe, is the answer. How aren't people getting this? The idea you're fixing your risk to 2%. Well, there you go. See, that's what the 60. The account gets bigger. We still risk 2%. Now we're putting on big fucking hairy trades. Yeah, you're always risking 2% of your account. Even if there's $1 billion in the account, that's a lot of money. I don't know about you. If I have $1 billion in my account and risking 2%, I don't have to risk 2% now. I'm risking 20% if I've got $1,000 in the account. How does the percent, what kind of fucking, go to FX Lifestyle. That'll answer it. If your house costs $6 million, How big is the ticket you're trading? So let's say I'm about to enter trade. So because the way the VP did it, he wrote down 78 on the units of his platform and he gave the pip value automatically. I hope this made sense. Oh, man. It's just hysterical shit. And VP didn't got no answer. Here you are, friend. This will make your life much easier. The pip calculator. No, he's talking about no, it won't help. Boom, VP dropped another bomb. This guy's double commented. I'm watching this on my break. It works seating on the bench in the middle of 4 big towers, HSBC, Citibank, JP Morgan, Deutsche Bank in Canary Wharf, London. I think, oh yes, baby, one day I'll see you. Thanks, VP. Wow, look at this guy. Name dropper, Citibank, JP Morgan. Wow, this guy's a big heavy hitter. Look, he's a recipient on this channel. He's receiving. He's on the top though. He's the top bottom guy. He's a pinch hitter. Hey VP, thanks for your game-changing tactics. It's a game changer, all right. Game's called Whipsaw. A new game called Hide the Salami. All your videos help me to improve my chart readings. Good. But how about your trading? I can read tea leaf now. I've created a system with Renko, 2 SMAs, MACD, not your favorite, but it works like a charm with Renko. I'd like to see it. He loves it. He gave it love. Always anticipating Mondays and Thursdays gives me hope for a brighter future. Anyways, that's too funny. I had to do it though. No nonsense Forex guy. Ultimate nonsense Forex, I'm going to call it.